Hello my loves, welcome to my channel Sun Love Stars and welcome to today's pick a card reading. If you're new here, my name is Cynthia and I'm your weird psychic girl from next door who's reminding you of how magical the universe is, okay? And I'm gonna read your cards today. So today's pick a card reading is going to be a future spouse reading, okay? I know you guys love the future spouse readings, and if it's your first time here, I'm just here to keep you company on your journey when it comes to manifesting your true love and your future spouse on the days where you feel lonely and you want to watch a pick a card reading because you haven't met yet, okay? So you're still on your journey to meet each other, okay? Or the stars have not yet aligned for you to meet your true love and your future spouse, and I'm just here to keep you company until you meet your true love and your future spouse, okay? But yeah, today's pick a card reading is going to be about your love story. Like honestly, I just wanted to do a topic that is free flowing, where it's not something specific, but whatever comes out. I just want to look at what your love story is going to be like. May that be your journey to each other, because if I think about a love story, I think about a journey, you know, kind of like your journey to each other or your journey with each other, you know, through life, okay? And yeah, what your love story is gonna be like, okay? Again, either like your journey to each other or your journey with each other. And again, whatever comes out, whatever I'm intuitively picking up on, yeah, because I didn't want like a specific topic, but guys, let me know if you have like a specific topic that you really want to know about. I was thinking about doing a first impression pick a card reading, kind of like your first impression of them, their first impression of you, because behind the scenes I've gotten a lot of requests. So by the way, I offer personal readings. I still offer them. I will probably stop offering them at some point, like within the next few months, I believe. Like I'm not sure, it might be sooner than later. Like I might do them, like I might continue to do them the next 1 or 2 months. I might stop them 3 weeks from now. I'm not quite sure, you know, I'm just listening to my intuition, but I know that I want to focus more on being here on YouTube and being more consistent and stuff like that, and doing less personal readings. But yeah, I still offer them as of right now, so you can still send me an email, but you have to come with patience because I take my time doing those personal readings. And yeah, I have a lot of requests, you know, and yeah, but if you want a personal reading with me where we look at your personal love story or your personal first date, second date, or whatever, okay, let me know, send me an email, okay? Everything that you need to know is down in the description box, like all the information. But yeah, I have been doing a lot of personal readings lately, and the last few personal readings that were requested from me were a first impression personal reading, kind of like what is my first impression of them, their first impression of me, my first impression of them. So if you guys want to see that, okay, let me down in the comments. I was also thinking about doing a reading about your second date, not your first one, because I've done quite a few pick a card readings on your first date, and you can check them out if you're completely new here, okay? You can binge watch my videos. I have so many videos about your future spouse, okay? So don't feel sad, don't feel worried, okay? If they're not yet there, if the stars have not yet aligned, if destiny has not yet unfolded when it comes to your love life, don't worry about it. I got you. Spend time with me, watch my videos, and also you can also use my videos to manifest. So when you watch a reading and you deeply resonate with the reading, start visualizing, start daydreaming, okay? Because when you daydream and when you visualize, you manifest, okay? So yeah, you can also use my readings to daydream and visualize, especially if something truly resonates with you or you feel a spark. When I describe something, you can just add it to your vision board. You can add it to your imagination, you can add it to your daydream to actually manifest it, okay? Because life is a lot about manifestation, okay? It's a lot about destiny too, but it's also a lot about manifesting, okay? So yeah, you can also use my videos to manifest. But yeah, the last couple of readings were like first impression personal readings that people requested from me. So I'm thinking about doing one, and then I was thinking about doing like your second date, your third date. I think it sounds fun, you know, because I've done first date pick a card readings. So you can watch the first date pick a card readings if you haven't watched them yet, but I'm thinking about the second date, the third date. You know, I'm just a sucker for love. Like, I'm a sucker for a good love story, or like a good, like, oh, that's what happened on the first date, what happened on the second date, the third date. I'm a sucker for it, okay? That's why I do love readings. That's why I do future spouse readings, because I love I love when, you know, I watch people like fall in love and stuff like that. Like, I'm like in the background grinning, you know, even when it comes to my friends, I'm just in the background like grinning and like checking out like how they approach each other and how they flirt, and like, I don't know, I just love doing future spouse readings anyway. So yeah, let me know any requests down in the description box. We also have to do a pick a card reading on how they would propose to you. Like, you know what, I have a lot of ideas, so keep an eye out for me, okay? You might want to subscribe if you're completely new, because I have a lot of ideas. I just have to write them down and like schedule everything and stuff like that, you know? But yeah, today's pick a card reading is about your love story. Whatever the hell comes out, whatever is gonna be significant in your love story, may that be in the beginning, may that be in the middle of your love story, may that be just in general what your love story is gonna feel and look like, or maybe your journey to each other, your journey to your first meeting, your first date, or whatever. How you will walk through life together or with each other. That's what we're going to look at today, okay? So in the next clip, you can choose between 3 images. If you feel indecisive, you can go on Google, find a number generator and ask your spirit guides to guide you to the right pile. And then the number generator is going to spit out a number. Or if you feel drawn to more than one pile, listen to your intuition, okay? But you can also use the number generator, kind of like where you add a number 4. And when the number 4 comes out, it means you have more than one pile, if that makes sense. Also, this reading is gonna have an extended, okay, so this reading is gonna be extended. I'm gonna post that extended on Patreon. If you want to join me and watch the extended, the link is down in the description box as well. And you can also subscribe to my Patreon, because I will be posting future spouse extended readings regularly. So that means if you cannot get enough of the future spouse readings, you might want to subscribe. And I also post like other content on Patreon, like just in general, like more pick a card readings. If you feel like you really like my pick a card readings and you want more, okay, you can find me on Patreon, okay? Yeah, this reading is going to have an extended, and I was thinking about, so here on YouTube, we're looking at your love story just in general, whatever the hell comes out, you know, like very free flowing, very much like going with the flow, okay? And then on Patreon, I want to look at how your future spouse will experience your love story, kind of like from their perspective. Do you know what I mean? Kind of like how they're going to experience like falling in love, or how they're going to experience like the beginning of your love story, or just in general, like the love that they feel for you, and how your story is unfolding, how destiny is unfolding in your love life or in your relationship, you know? So that's what we're going to look at. We're going to look at from their perspective, like how they experience everything, you know, that happens within them when they meet you, when they fall in love with you, you know? So yeah, if you want to join me, the link is down in the description box. And here it's just like how you're both going to feel about this love story, you know? Or how you're both going to feel about like falling in love, your journey to each other, your journey as soulmates, your journey as twin flames, your journey as opposites attract, whatever energy your relationship is going to have. By the way, if you wonder what your relationship is going to be like and it's your first time watching, I just posted a pick a card reading, or not just, but the last future spouse pick a card reading was about like what will your relationship be like, you know? So yeah, kind of like what kind of flavor, what kind of melody, what kind of taste is your relationship going to have. You can check that out in the last pick a card reading, okay? All right, I think that was a long intro. So in the next step, you can choose between 3 images. If you feel indecisive, go on Google, find a number generator and ask your spirit guides to guide you to the right pile. And I would say I'm going to send you a reading, guys. Hey, pie number one, welcome to your reading. First things first, if you didn't watch the intro, this reading is going to have an extended, okay? So first of all, here on YouTube, okay, we're going to look at what your love story with your true love and your future spouse is going to be like. Just imagine you met them. Okay, and then how's your love story gonna unfold? How's your love story gonna feel and look like, you know? So basically kind of like your journey together, or your journey to each other, okay? Or how your love story is kind of like unfolding. May that be the beginning of your love story, or kind of like in the middle or whatever of your love story, you know? That's what we're going to look at here on YouTube, okay? How you're both going to experience your love story and like your romance and your connection unfolding. And then on Patreon, because I'm going to extend this reading, you can find the link to the extended in the description box. But yeah, we're going to extend this reading on Patreon, and on Patreon I want to look at how your future spouse will experience your love story, kind of like from their perspective. How falling in love with you is gonna feel like, or how they're going to experience like the unfolding of your love story, the unfolding of your romance, the unfolding of like falling in love with each other or whatever, or the beginning of your connection, the beginning of your relationship, you know, how they're going to experience it from their perspective, you know, what is going to happen inside of them when they meet you and look at you and all that good stuff. Okay, so we're just going to look at your love story from their perspective, how they're going to perceive it and experience it. And here on YouTube, it's kind of like the both of you, how you will both experience your love story. Also, I still offer personal readings. If you want a personal reading with me, kind of where we look at the details of your personal love story, or like your first meeting or whatever you are interested in. All the information for a personal reading is done in the description box. I will not offer personal readings for much longer. I don't know for how much longer. It could be a few more months, like 1 or 2 more months. It could be just 2 more weeks. Okay, I'm just listening to my intuition. So yeah, you can send me an email, and maybe I'm still offering personal readings. Maybe there's gonna be a slot available, because I do get a lot of requests and I take my time with personal readings. Like, I'm really detailed. If you know me, you know me. I'm really detailed. I really take my time. So that means that I cannot do 50 million personal readings like very quickly, you know. It's kind of like quality over quantity kind of vibe. So you gotta come with patience when you send me an email, okay? And like the timing when I get back to you or whatever, depending on if I still offer them anyway. Pile number one, let's look at your love story with your true love and your future spouse, okay? And again, this is just like a go with the flow, pick a card reading, because it's not a specific topic like your first impression of each other, your first date. This is just like your love story and whatever comes out, okay? Pile number one. This might just be signs that this is your pile, okay? Because I'm picking up signs that this might be your pile. For some of you guys, pile number one, you have been feeling very, very drawn to the color purple lately. And for others of you, pile number one, you have been feeling really, really drawn to the color yellow lately, is what I'm picking up here. Something about the color purple and the color yellow is coming through here, okay? For some of you guys, you could also have colored hair. Like, I'm hearing a purple hair, I'm hearing pink, I'm hearing purple hair, pink hair, and blue hair. So you might be thinking about coloring your hair purple, pink, or blue, or you might have wigs in purple, pink, or blue, or you like to cosplay and just play around a little bit with your aesthetic, which your true love and your future spouse is really gonna like. First of all, okay, they're gonna be like, oh my god, the way you switch up your style is I like it, okay? But this could be just a confirmation that this is really your pile, is what I'm picking up here, okay? But let's begin your reading. Pile number one, welcome. What is your love story gonna be like with your true love and your future spouse? The first thing that I'm picking up here with this card right here, it says this connection is moving fast. Your love story is gonna move really, really quickly. I almost pick up, do you know what I saw when I was like shuffling your cards? Okay. Do you know what I saw when I was shuffling your cards? I was seeing somebody saying to you, don't you think you're moving too quickly with him? Don't you think you're moving too quickly with her? And you and your future spouse, you both, it's both of your energies, right? Because I'm reading both of your energies. Like where somebody's like asking you, don't you think you're moving too quickly? And you're both like very confident, very much like, nope. And no further explanation, just to know, like, don't you think that you move too quickly with them? Or don't you think that things are moving too quickly? And you're like, nope, I don't think so. And your future spouse, the same, like I pick up like a confidence, like a, no, I know they are the one. I know this feeling, or like I've never felt like that before, so I know that this is special, to the point where people cannot even convince you that you're moving too quickly. Does that make sense? Kind of like a, no, I don't think we're moving too quickly. Why wait? You know, I'm hearing, meet me at the altar in your white dress. We ain't getting no younger. We might as well do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, we ain't getting no younger, we might as well do it. That's what I'm picking up here, kind of like, why would I wait? Like, wait for what? Do you know what I mean? Or kind of like a, I will figure out if it was too early. Kind of like a confidence. Like, if somebody asks your future spouse, like, don't you think you're moving too quickly with her? Like, don't you think, you know, it's too quickly to move in? Don't you think it's too quickly to be in an official relationship, kind of like where you make it official very quickly, or you move in very quickly, or you meet each other's friends very quickly? Do you know what I mean? Where it's kind of like a nope. Like I literally pick up like a no that is so convincing, and there's no further explanation. That's just it. Like, I'm so sure about my man and about my woman that I want to move quickly. Okay. So yeah, this could be like a love story where it's gonna feel like love at first sight. It's gonna be like, I was in love with you with the very first time that I saw you. And I know it might sound crazy to people that have never experienced it, but I know what I'm feeling, okay? And that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm picking up. So there's this energy of like moving quickly, okay? Your relationship, your love story is gonna move quickly, kind of like moving in very quickly, getting proposed to very quickly, being engaged very quickly. Like, things are just gonna move very quickly, because the confidence that what you're feeling is like magical is gonna be so intense, and people are not gonna get it. So, and you're not gonna care that people don't get it, or there could be a specific person, or people, it might not even be people that are condescending. They might really be just curious, like, don't you think you're moving too quickly? You know, do you know what I mean? It doesn't even have to be like condescending. They might just be like curious about like why you are so sure, you know, like what happened. And you're like, oh, it was love at first sight. And they're like, really? Love at first sight? And then they get curious about the idea that love at first sight might actually be real, you know, because not everybody believes in love at first sight. Do you know what I mean? That's the energy that is coming through here. But yeah, your relationship is going to move quickly, okay? There's going to be a very quick I love you, a very quick like moving in together, a very quick let's make it official. They might actually ask you out to be their girlfriend, or that they want to be in a relationship with you, that they want you to be their boyfriend very quickly. Okay, that's the vibe that is coming through here. But there could also be an energy of like, I usually move slowly. Like, I'm usually a person, I take my time making decisions. I move very slowly. I'm very slow when it comes to deciding whether or not I want to befriend somebody. I'm very slow when it comes to deciding for a career path. That's also another sign that you truly met your true love and your future spouse, because there's this energy of like, that's the reason why people are going to be curious about it, because they know that you take a long time to make decisions, or that you are very indecisive, or that you do really take your time. With previous relationships, it took you like 2 years to decide whether or not like you want to move in with them. Or in the previous, do you know what I mean? Whereas there's this energy of like, I usually take my time making decisions, but this one right here, I'm so sure, I'm betting my money on it. Or like, I'm so sure that, you know, like, this feeling is so intense and it's unusual for me, which makes me believe, or that's how I know that this is special, because I usually cannot make decisions. I'm usually very indecisive. It takes me years to even decide on breakfast, or to even decide on a color that I want to paint my walls. So the fact that you made a decision like in the first, I don't know, 2 weeks is very unusual. Do you know what I mean? It's not the energy of like you are a person that moves quickly often, and people have to tell you, pile number one, chill. Okay, chill. Do you know what I mean? Where, you know, like some friends that you have, or some women, some men, they fall quickly. They fall very quickly, very often, or they commit very quickly, very often. So it's like their normal behavior, their typical behavior to fall very quickly. And that's where you have to tell them, hey, slow down. You know, like you fell for an asshole, a narcissist, whatever, a gold digger in the past before, and it moved too quickly, and then you got heartbroken, kind of like where you have to tell somebody to slow down. With you, I pick up the opposite, where you are usually a person that you are not, it's not easy for you to make decisions. You move like a snail, you move like a turtle. It takes a long time for you to make a decision, and you're both going to experience. It's kind of like where you're both people that yeah, you might not be that very decisive, kind of like where you move slowly, you move like a turtle, you move like a like a snail, but it is because you want to make sure that you are 1,000,000% sure about the next step that you take, because you know yourself that you, I don't know how to explain this, kind of like where you know that when you make a decision and it doesn't feel right, you cannot fake the funk. Kind of like where you cannot fake that you like something if you really don't like it, and then, you know, there's a whole mess coming out. For example, I'm just giving you an example. Let's say, for example, there is a person that wants to be your friend, or you made that decision, you made that, what is it called? You made that mistake in the past, kind of like where you're not sure whether or not you like somebody to the point where you want to befriend them, you want to be friends with them. So in the past, you allowed people to like kind of like come to you and befriend you, and you weren't sure about them. You weren't sure about if you want to be friends with them, if you want to commit to this connection, because even friendships are a commitment, right? And then you found yourself like being in a pickle. Do you say in a pickle jar? Kind of like where you kind of like have to ghost them because you don't actually vibe with them, or you notice that you are very different from each other, and the kind of like where it's like one-sided, kind of like where the friendship is one-sided. Or do you know what I mean? So you made that mistake in the past, so now you are very like cautious. I pick up a very cautious energy from you and your future spouse. Again, that's also the reason why you will know, I think that might be the one. I think that might be my man or my woman, because I cannot decide for the life of me. I'm not a decisive person. So the fact that I look at you and I know like this is it, that is very unusual. That is like a miracle. That is like once in a blue moon that I feel this way, this decisive. I take so long to make decisions. I also learned in the past that I have to think 1,000,000 times before I make a decision, or else I find myself in a pickle jar, committed to something that I don't want, or at a party that I don't want to be at, or at a job that doesn't fulfill me, or do you know what I mean? Where you might even have like a history of like saying yes when you want to say no, or saying no when you want to say yes. Do you know what I mean? And with your future spouse, there's going to be like this harmony, like this alignment that you feel very rarely, where you very, very rarely feel so aligned with a decision, so aligned with this is it, and I'm not scared that I'm making a mistake. I'm not scared that I'm committing to something that I'm not gonna like 6 hours from now, 3 days from now, 3 months from now. Do you know what I mean? Because you could be that kind of person that where you change a lot, or you change your mind a lot, or do you know what I mean? That's the vibe that is coming through here. So yeah, that's, if people would ask you, that would be your answer. You and your future spouse, you're both those people. And I also pick up that people around you that really know you, and they know how you take a long ass time to make decisions, and how you cannot even decide on a breakfast or a restaurant that you want to go to, or an outfit or whatever. the people that really know you, they will also know that is very unlike you, that you must be really in love, or that there must be really something special, because you usually don't make decisive decisions like that. So they will know like, oh yeah, pan number one is really in love, you know, like, because they usually move very slowly. So them moving quickly means that, yeah, there must be something special between the both of them. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, but it's only the people that really know you, if that makes sense. Other people might think, oh, you're moving too quickly or whatever, like you gotta be cautious. But people that really know you know that you actually move slowly. And that you do take your time making decisions all the time, you know. So there's gonna be this energy of like, I'm not sure about a lot of things. I'm very unsure about a lot of things, but one thing that I'm not unsure about is you. One thing that I'm not unsure about is that you are my man, that you are my woman, that you are a perfect match for me, like that this is it, that the search is over. I know it. I might be unsure about my career path. I might be unsure about like whatever, you know, what I want to wear today, what I want to eat today evening, but I'm not unsure about you. There's such a like clarity, such an alignment, kind of like this feels so good and so authentic and so aligned to make this decision, even though it looks like, yo, you're moving quickly. Okay, that's the energy, okay? So yeah, your relationship is gonna move quickly, kind of like the I love you is gonna come quick, or your first kiss is gonna happen very quickly, or it's gonna feel like you are officially in a relationship after your second or your third date, you know. And you're not that kind of person. Your future spouse is not that kind of person. So that means like, you know what, this is different, okay? Because everything that I do, and you know, like, yeah, I don't know, like it's once in a blue moon that I feel so sure about the next step and what I'm doing, because I'm a person that changes their mind a lot, you know. So that's the energy that is coming through here. And you might even tell each other that, kind of like, babe, you know what, like I changed my mind a lot, but you know, when I met you, there was like this decisiveness. There was like like I made a decision quickly, like immediately. There was like this immediate, yes, you, like that feeling like, yes, it's you, you know. And I'm usually not that kind of person. Like I usually don't move that quickly. Even your future spouse might tell you like, I usually don't move that quickly. Like my last relationship, it took me, I don't know, 2 or 3 years to move in with them. And it's true. Like they're not just saying that to flatter you. It's true. Like they're literally telling you like, yo, I don't know what you did to me, but you, okay, you got me wrapped around your fingers kind of vibe, you know. So yeah, that's the energy that is coming through here, okay? There's like a very quick, like, I don't know if it's too early to say I love you, but that's how I feel. And then you say, I wanted to say it too, and I thought it's too early too. Kind of like where you're both gonna think, oh, I'm moving so quickly, but then you do it anyway, and then you find out that your future spouse also wanted to say I love you very quickly, just like you, or it was already on the tip of your tongue, and you feel like, no, it's too early to say it, like what the hell. You know, I'm gonna look crazy, or I'm gonna look like I fall very quickly. And like, do you know what I mean? As if you just want to be in a relationship for the sake of being in a relationship, or like love bombing or whatever, or like moving very quickly as if you cannot be alone and you just want to be in a relationship very quickly, and you don't want to give off that impression. And I also pick up your future spouse as well, but then come to find out you both want to say I love you after 2 weeks, or I don't know, you want to be official after 2 weeks, because it's like it's so clear to you, it's so like it feels so right, okay? I'm hearing there's no doubt in my mind, and I'm a very doubtful person, so I don't know what the hell is going on, but there's no doubt in my mind, okay? Like that's the vibe that is coming through here. So yeah, your love story is gonna be moving quickly. It's gonna be a quickie. Okay. Or you're both gonna move very quickly, or kind of like where your pace is in sync, but it might be a quick pace, kind of like a, oh my god, I love you is on the tip of my tongue, and it shouldn't be because we just met. Do you know what I mean? Or like a, I think I'm in love is like, why am I already in love? How is that even possible? Like, how is that possible? There's no way I'm already in love. What the hell? Do you know what I mean? Or like, you know, like I want to move in with you, and like I know it's too early. Yeah, like I don't even know if it's gonna like work, you know? Do you know what I mean? It's so you're gonna feel like you might be moving quickly, but it's because the connection feels magical and feels like, you know, a spark that you never felt before is what I'm picking up here, okay? And again, it's like unlike you and it's unlike your future spouse is what I'm picking up here. If your future spouse asks you, you know how when you sometimes have like conversations with a lover and they ask you like, why did you fall for me? Or when did you know you were in love? Or when did you know I'm the one? You would both answer from the moment that I met you. Like the first time we spoke, the first time I saw you, I knew it, okay? So yeah, your love story is going to be love at first sight. And yeah, you're going to tell people like, I know it sounds crazy, but it truly was love at first sight. I fell in love like immediately. I didn't believe in it. Or your future spouse might even say like they didn't believe in it or they didn't know if it was true until they met you. And then it happened. And then they realized like love at first sight is a real thing. It's not a myth because it happened to them, okay? So yeah, if you're talking about like, when did you know I was the one for you? You would both answer the first time we spoke, the first time we met with the first eye contact, you know, like, yeah, you would both answer this. And you're like, no, really? You knew from the beginning? And they're like, yeah, I knew it from the beginning. And then they're asking you like, what about you? And then you're like, yeah, I also knew it from the beginning. Okay. That's the vibe that is coming through here. I also pick up a strong energy here, which is very interesting. Okay, this is very interesting because I just recorded and just finished a personal reading for somebody. And if you're watching me, okay, then this is definitely your pal because I'm mentioning your personal reading. But with this card right here, okay, hold on. First of all, let me show this card here to you. Okay, it says your connection is moving fast. And then we have the card here, new energy, new feelings, new experiences. Yeah, it's kind of like it's new to you to move this quickly. It's like new to you that you're so sure of something because you change your mind all the time. You change your style all the time. You might even have ADHD, or your future spouse might have ADHD, okay? Or you might be both neurodivergent, kind of like where, you know, ADHD also means that you work on a project and you lose interest very quickly, you know? And then you move on to the next project. Do you know what I mean? Or kind of like where you have ADHD or they have ADHD. And I pick up this energy here of like, nobody makes me pay attention as much as you do. Okay, kind of like where you both have a low attention span or you get bored very easily. And then there's this energy of like, but my man, I never get bored of my man. I could watch him day in and day out and they're gonna feel like they could listen to you. Again, I just did a personal reading where I was mentioning this, so if it sounds like you, I'm not gonna say your name because I don't want to, like, you know, it's a personal reading. People should know about it, but yeah, there's this energy of like a short attention span, okay, or like moving on from project to project very quickly, but you're a man or you're a woman, like you can listen to them for hours and they're also gonna feel like they can listen to hours for you, and they have a short attention span that you interest them, or like they're interested in you every day, or they're like excited about like knowing what's on your mind every day. And like that's unlike them because they move on very quickly, or they go from one project to the other, or they have a lot of interests, and so they might even forget to text people back because they are focused. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like people that have ADHD, like it's a miracle to get their attention, or it's a miracle to keep their attention. It's a miracle that they can listen to you for hours, because people with ADHD, they cannot listen like for too long until they get bored or until their mind drifts away. Does that make sense? That's what I'm picking up here, okay? Kind of like where you're both gonna know like, that's my man, okay, that's my woman, because your ADHD also likes your man or your woman. Kind of like even my ADHD, you know, energy is attracted to you. Like you even stimulate my ADHD brain, you even stimulate my autistic energy, you know, like that's the vibe. So one person here could have ADHD, the other one could be autistic, and it's like a perfect match because you're both weird, or you both do like weird stuff, or do you know what I mean? There's this energy of like two weirdos, honestly, okay? And I say that in the best way possible. I love weird people, okay? So when I say weirdo, I mean this in the best way possible. It's like two weird people, or your quirky, weird way of doing and living and thinking is a perfect match to their quirky, weird way of doing, living, and thinking. You might have the same superstition, or we both don't go out on the 13th of Friday. Does that make sense? Like, there's this energy of like, you're both perfect for each other when it comes to being weird or having ADHD, having being on the spectrum, being autistic, okay, where it's like two peas in a pot okay, is what I'm picking up here. Or like the way that they dress stimulates your brain or whatever. Like also very like when it comes to your brain, like I'm being brought to like a neurodivergent brain, you know, that like, I don't know, okay, they keep you on your toes, or you feel like you're always interested in them, and they're very interesting. Like, you're gonna think your future spouse is the most interesting person that you know, and they're gonna think you're the most interesting person that they know, so they can watch you all the time. Or you both are always involved in projects, and they want to know about what you do and your projects, and you want to know about what they do in their projects, and it's like a constant stimulation of like, ooh, oh that's what I'm picking up here, okay? That's what I'm picking up here, okay? That's why I also probably mentioned in the beginning, like somebody likes to color their hair purple, pink, blue is coming through here, and you're like, ooh, purple, ooh, pink, you know? Like, that's the that's the energy. Like, that's how they're gonna feel about you. Like, again, I also pick up like a cosplaying energy going on here, where somebody loves to like switch up their style or something like that, okay? So yeah, you're both gonna be like exciting to each other. Your relationship is gonna feel exciting, and like I don't know, you never get bored of your man or your woman. They can talk your ears off for hours, and you're super interested and super invested, and it might be unlike you. It might be unlike your future spouse. They're like, their mind usually drifts away, but when they look at you, they're noticing I'm locked in, okay? Like, my focus is really like sharp, and I usually don't focus like that. Like, I'm hearing you got my attention. That's what I'm hearing. You got my attention. But like literally also like medically speaking, or do you say medically? Like, also I'm also speaking about psychology, like, you know, my neurodivergent, you got the attention of my neurodivergent brain, you got the attention of my autistic energy, or like my autistic brain, and it's like, yeah, you know, that's what I'm that's what I'm picking up here. So yeah, you're gonna both feel like, oh, you know, like my man is so exciting and so interesting, and like I cannot get enough of them. I want to ask a million questions because they're so interesting. You know how like also autistic people, they also like to ask a lot of questions or whatever, or kind of like where you laser focus on a topic and then you study it for like months, and you're like excited and you want to buy every book and like read everything about it, like kind of like a laser focus, kind of like I'm laser focused on you, you know, and it doesn't go away. It stays like that, you know. It's kind of like the dream of a person that has ADHD, the dream of a person that is autistic, kind of like a laser focus on a project, but it's long term. And this is what your love story is gonna feel like. It's kind of like this excites me long term, this is interesting to me long term, this is like, do you know what I mean? I do really believe I have my autistic and my ADHD people here in this pile, okay? Even if you're neurotypical, your future spouse might be autistic, or kind of like on the spec, they might have ADHD, or they might be like a, what is it called, like a powerhouse, like where they do a lot and they move everywhere and they travel a lot, like they're very like Gemini, like everywhere, like they're doing a lot of things, and you're like, oh, you know, there might even be an energy of like one person is neurotypical, the other one is neurodivergent, and it works like perfectly, like you balance each other out so perfectly, because you bring like a calmness to them with your neurotypical energy, and they bring excitement to you with their neurodivergent energy, okay? So yeah, your love story is gonna feel like exciting, you know, there's always something to do, there's always a project, there's always somewhere to go, there's always a destination, there's always a travel opportunity, there's always like something to do is what I'm picking up here, okay? Because it's gonna feel like you're both creating a lifestyle that is exciting, where you feel like you're moving and like you're expanding and you're growing, and like that's the vibe. Like you could also end up actually working on projects together is what I'm picking up here. Like, yeah, that's what I'm picking up here, like working on projects together, and you're like excited, like you're literally, your love story is gonna feel like working on a project that you are excited about with your crush, and they like you back, okay, and they like you back long term, they want you forever and you want them forever. So it's kind of like a forever energy of like working on a project, but you're working on a project with a sexy ass man, with a sexy ass woman that you like and that you feel attracted to, and like your brains work very well together. So you might actually really end up working on projects together. May that be fashion designing, may that be creating music together, may that be I don't know, creating your dream home, and it's like a whole project. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna feel like, oh, I'm working on a project with this sexy man that is my man, with this sexy, cute woman that is my woman, you know? And it's like, there's like double excitement. I'm excited about what I'm working on, and I'm excited about the person that I work on that with, you know? It's like, you're my perfect project partner. That's what I'm picking up here, okay? Yeah, that's what I'm picking up here, okay? So yeah, your love story is gonna feel like, for you and your future spouse, it's gonna be the energy of like, ooh, you got my attention, and not a lot of things catch my attention, or I lose interest very easily, or I get bored very easily. But with you, I don't get bored. Or like, again, kind of like where your future spouse is realizing they have a short attention span, but their attention is on you, okay? And their attention is fixed on you, or like they're laser focused on you. They have a tunnel vision when they look at you, and they want to study you, and they want to know everything about you. Kind of like, again, like a person that has autism or is on the spectrum, or that has ADHD, and they have a hyperfixation. Okay, that's what it is. Your love story is gonna feel like a hyperfixation that stays. Does that make sense? Because hyperfixations usually are like for a couple of months and then they are gone, right? Yeah, you're gonna feel like you're hyper fixated on each other, but it's because you are like interested, like in their brain. You want to pick their brain, you want to know what they work on. So there could also be a lot of like, you could also be my artsy couple, where two people that like to create, two people that are very creative, two people that are, you know, like full of ideas, and you don't know where to begin, and you don't know who to ask, or who to ask what you should do next about this idea and that idea. Kind of like where you always like are doing something together, you always are interested in something, and it's like, yeah, there's like this. I think your relationship is going to be a dream for a person that has ADHD. There's like a stimulation, like a mental stimulation, kind of like, oh, I never get bored, or this is exciting, or I'm excited about like the date that you planned. Do you know what I mean? You might even go on like really fun dates or something like that all the time, or always have like a fun idea when it comes to dates. But I also pick this up as like projects, interests, hobbies, you know, like your relationship is going to feel like it's abundant in excitement, it's abundant in fun ideas, it's abundant in like, yeah, just like never getting bored. Or like, again, you're gonna feel like, this man is the most interesting man that I ever met. This woman is the most interesting woman that I ever met. And yeah, I'm so excited to pick your brain. I'm so excited to know what you're working on. Or like, even their projects are going to be exciting to you. Do you know what I mean? That's the vibe. So your love story is going to feel like a hyperfixation. Your love story is going to feel like, you got my attention, and I usually get bored very easily. I usually have a short attention span, but I can listen to you for hours. I can look at you for hours, you know, like I don't get bored, and I usually get bored very easily, you know. So you're going to feel like you never get bored with your man or your woman. They never get bored with you, you know, and like you're locked in, you're hyper fixated on each other. That's what I'm picking up here. But yeah, the reason why I was showing you this card right here is because it looks like it's fall season. You know how the leaves turn yellow and orange and red in fall season? And this is what this card reminds me of. This looks like yellow leaves, and it looks like a very yellow card. So pick up something about yellow. Okay, somebody's favorite color could be yellow. Someone's favorite color could be purple. Okay. For some reason I also pick up dyeing each other's hair. Like I'm being brought to this one what is it called? I'm being brought to this one couple on YouTube, and I think you know, the lady is a hairdresser, and she's always like posting videos when she dyes her man's hair, you know, and she's always doing something different on his buzz cut, like different colors, and they color each other's hair and stuff like that. So this could be significant here too. I could have my artists here, my painters here, I could have my fashion designers here, I could have just my creators and my artists here that are always working on something, or you're always inspired, or there's like an infinite inspiration that you feel, and you're like, oh, I want to work on this, and I want to work on that, and I want to create this, and I want to create that, and your man and your woman is going to be able to keep up with you, and they're going to be perfect for almost every project that you work on. Maybe not every project, but almost every project. You're like, oh, you're the perfect person that is going to help me with this, and like your ideas and this and that, and I don't know, okay? But I also pick up like this couple that was like coloring their hair together all the time, you know, like experimenting all the time together. That's the vibe that is coming through here, okay? Now, this energy also makes me feel like your love story, there could be like an energy where part of your love story is also gonna be in fall season, as in, because with the Two of Cups, this makes me feel like celebrating an anniversary, you know, like, oh, it's an anniversary, like, you know, cheers, or like happy anniversary, babe. But it looks like it's gonna be in fall season, which again, I just did a personal reading for somebody, and there was like a reconciliation happening in fall season. Celebrating an anniversary. I pick up an energy where you're gonna celebrate an anniversary in fall season. May that be again your first date, being together officially, maybe even celebrating moving in, you know, kind of like your first year that you were living together, but you moved into your new home in fall season and autumn season, or your first kiss happened in fall or autumn, or whatever. Okay, the first time you met and you exchange numbers was in fall season. So there could also be something going on with fall season. I'm also being brought to how a lot of people that are alternative or gothic, they actually choose the 31st of October, kind of like Halloween, as their wedding day. Kind of like where two people that are gothic, you know, that are very much into spooky things, they choose, like I've seen this quite a bit, you know, they choose like Halloween as like their wedding day, you know, like where they want to get married on Halloween, because they're both into spooky things, they're both gothic, you know. That's what I'm picking up here too, honestly, okay? So you might even actually end up like getting married in fall season. Not for everybody, but if you know fall season is your favorite season, your future spouse, their favorite season might also be fall seasons. Do you know what I mean? And you might end up like getting engaged in fall or getting married in fall. So fall season is gonna be special every year. Does that make sense? That's what I was trying to say, okay? That's the energy that is coming through here, okay? Like I pick up like an anniversary, kind of like a happy anniversary, babe, or like, yeah, I don't know, something about a magical fall, a magical autumn is what I'm picking up here. So yeah, if you're gothic or if you are alternative or whatever, if you love autumn or fall season, definitely your pal. Okay, or if you met somebody in fall season and you think they might be your future spouse, they might be, okay? You might need to get further confirmation or whatever, but they might be, because I do see like a love story that truly unfolds in fall season. I pick up a love story that a first kiss, the first date, engagement, wedding energy, somewhere in fall season, okay? Or kind of like a magical fall walk, kind of like where you go on a walk and it's fall season and the leaves are like losing their leaves and stuff like that, and it's like, yeah, just a magical fall walk, okay? Or like a magical Halloween, or like a magical pumpkin patch day or whatever, you know. Or I don't know, where they maybe cook a pumpkin soup for you in fall season. It's the best pumpkin soup you ever ate. Like, there's also a lot of fall energy coming through here, okay? Yeah, there might even be an energy where either you or your future spouse might really like earthy colors. Like, I'm being brought to brown and green, which does remind me of fall season, honestly, okay? Or like fall colors, you know, is what I'm picking up here. And then we also have the card here, spiritual growth, learning lessons. So yeah, your relationship, your love story is gonna feel like you found the perfect person to have spiritual conversations with, where you're gonna talk about like, babe, do you know what I have been thinking about? I feel like life has been trying to teach me this, or I feel like I've been learning about myself, this and that, you know. And they're excited to know and watch your personal like spiritual journey, you know, where they're truly invested. And then you're also really invested in their personal like transformation, where they tell you, I feel like that's what I have been learning about myself, you know, where you're gonna love your spiritual conversations about life, about what life is teaching you, and about who you want to become and who you want to no longer be, you know, like a constant transformation, a constant like growing that is happening within you. And they're gonna be the perfect person to listen and talk to about this. I also pick up an energy of like a purple sky. I don't know why. You could have like a magical date in fall season, or kind of like where you're gonna remember a really magical date that happened in fall, okay? But I also pick up something about like a magical date, or like a date that was so beautiful and was so like, you know, I'm just happy with my man, and like the day was beautiful, and I just feel like I'm in heaven. I'm hearing heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. And I seem to find the happiness I seek when I'm out with you, dancing cheek to cheek. Okay, so you could also have a love story where you're gonna dance a lot together, dancing cheek to cheek, okay, or feeling like your happy place is dancing with your man, dancing with your woman, okay. But yeah, this card right here reminds me of, okay, I'm gonna tell you a story, okay? You could also be my pile, where you're really gonna like walks together, kind of like going on a walk together. I also see dates where you go on, you know, a bike ride, kind of like a bike ride, and you're really happy and the day is beautiful or whatever, and you're with your sexy man or your sexy woman, you know, where bike rides could be a big part of your love story, okay? I'm also seeing something about like boat rides. I'm also being brought to Australia for some reason, because I'm being brought to Bridie Drake and how she's always on a boat going somewhere or doing something. So something about boat rides is what I'm picking up here, okay, where this might be essential parts of your love story. Bike rides, boat rides, motorcycle bike rides, or whatever. Okay. But with this card right here, this reminds me of a day where I was taking a walk and around my neighborhood, and kind of like where you're gonna, like your happy place is gonna be taking walks with your man or your woman, is what I'm picking up here, honestly, and just talking and just like, yeah, just talking and like just feeling like you are understanding life, or it's just gonna feel like exciting to learn spiritual lessons together, to learn lessons together in life, you know, that make you go to the next level in life. Like, it's gonna be fun to learn together is what I'm picking up. It's gonna be fun to like, yeah, just learn together and like understand your journey, like where you understand their journey, they understand your journey, and you understand like each other's journey, if that makes sense, okay, in a spiritual sense, like where they're at spiritually, where you are at spiritually. But yeah, this is also reminding me of like when I took a walk, and on my walk I saw a purple sky, super purple. Like, I've never seen a sky that purple. It was crazy. And then I've never seen a sky that purple ever again, honestly, okay? So it was a purple sky, and even the the clouds were purple. And the crazy thing is, I think it was like in between, like it was already dawn, you know, so it was already dawn, the sun was setting and stuff like that. So you might also take a lot of walks by dawn, you know, where the sun is setting and then the moon is slowly coming out, or you kind of like sunset vibes where, yeah, we talked about this, right, where the sky is like purple or whatever, or like beautiful, or you know, it looks like a sunset or whatever. Okay, but yeah, I took a walk and you know, the sky was super purple. I've never seen that ever again. And the clouds were forming a shape and it looked like a dragon, kind of like it literally looked like a dragon, or like a question mark, kind of like this. It looked really, really like cool, you know, and I was like, oh my god, let me take a picture. And I've never seen such a beautiful sky ever again. So there could also be an energy where in your love story you're going to see a lot of like kind of like where you're always gonna be at the right place at the right time to see something magical when it comes to weather phenomenons, like a purple sky, a pink sky, where you maybe see stars, a blue star, where you might see a shooting star together, where you might see a comet, you know, where you might see a rainbow, kind of like where there's gonna be a lot of like weather phenomenons that I'm picking up here, kind of like where you're always at the right place at the right time to like see something really pretty or like really beautiful, or maybe the moon is red, you know, or the moon is orange, and like you're always at the right place at the right time to like look at the stars together, or look at the moon together, or look at the clouds, kind of like where the clouds are forming a like a shape, kind of like look at that, the cloud looks like a heart, and they're like, oh my god, it does. That's what I'm picking up here. Okay, something about like yeah, that's what I'm picking up here. I don't know. Okay, or maybe you're always outside when the sun is setting and like you have the most beautiful view. That's what I'm picking up here. And then you kiss each other and then you hold hands or whatever. Okay. That's what I'm picking up here. Okay. Or I also pick up where you are the kind of person like, oh my god, look at the sky, and like they look at you and they think you're so cute when you're excited. That's what I'm picking up here. For some of you guys, pile number one, you will know if this is your message or not, okay? For some of you guys, pile number one, I'm hearing you have been blessed with, in this lifetime, you have been blessed with seeing magical things, kind of like where you're the one to see a shooting star. Because I feel like every person is blessed in a different way. Some people are blessed with amazing health. Some people are blessed with a lot of friends. Some people are blessed with a lot of money, or they are born into wealth, kind of like where you are blessed with certain things, and then other things you have to work for really, really hard in this lifetime. That's at least how I see things, you know. I could be right, I could be wrong, but let's elaborate on that theory, kind of like where you are blessed with certain things and other things don't come easy to you, kind of like where certain things come easy to you. It's easy for you to manifest certain things, and then it's really hard for you to manifest other things. And you have to really work really hard, or overcome obstacles, or really grow as an individual to manifest something. Some people, they manifest love very easily. Some people manifest friends very easily. Some people manifest money very easily. Some people are, again, blessed with an infinite amount of creative ideas. Do you know what I mean? Where everybody is blessed in a different way, and everybody also has different obstacles where certain things don't come easy to them, and they have to put a lot of work into making things happen or making things work. Now, for some of you guys, pile number one, again, this is just a side quest or like a side message for someone here. You have been blessed in this lifetime when it comes to you seeing magical things, kind of like shooting stars, or where you see a blue star, or you see a comet or something like that, or you see the most beautiful sunset, the most beautiful sunrise, or you see rainbows all the time. Do you know what I mean? Where maybe you have been blessed with being at really beautiful places, kind of like where one of your blessings really is seeing the most beautiful sunset ever, or seeing the most beautiful sunrise ever, or always seeing shooting stars, where some people never see a shooting star, and then other people always see shooting stars, or other people always, like, I don't know, do you know what I mean? That's the vibe that is coming through here, okay? And I'm seeing your future spouse looking at you and they think you are magical because every time they are with you, they see something like magical, kind of like where they never see shooting stars. They only see shooting stars every time they are with you. Do you know what I mean? Or they never see rainbows. They only see rainbows when they are with you because it's your energy. It's kind of like you have been blessed with that energy. You have been blessed with somehow ending up in the most beautiful place where you see a purple sky, a pink sky, shooting stars, rainbows, comets, or whatever. What is it called? Stars in different colors, you know, because stars don't just come in like a white color or like a white color. There's also orange stars and blue stars, or maybe the moon is orange or the moon is red, kind of like where you have been blessed with that, okay, that you see beautiful like weather phenomenon. Or kind of like, you know, when you look at the sky and the clouds are shaping something and you're like, oh my God, this looks like a bird, this looks like this looks like that, you know. And I see your future spouse looking at you and thinking you're magical, or like they always experience like the most beautiful sunsets with you or the most beautiful sunrise with you, or every time they see a special moon, it's with you, it's with nobody else, okay? That's what I'm picking up here. It's kind of like every time you go on a date, this happens, or very often when you go on a date and I see them like looking at you and thinking like, yeah, every time I'm with you, I see something like beautiful in the sky or something magical, or I don't know, okay? That's what I'm picking up here. Yeah, honestly, I'm also being brought to camping, I'm being brought to traveling, I'm being brought to festivals, you know, where you're literally in an open air situation, or kind of like where you are literally dancing, by moonlight, or you're literally dancing as the sun is setting or the sun is rising, kind of like staying up until 5 a.m. in the morning and dancing or whatever. And it might be like an open air. So there could even be an energy where you're both like somehow blessed with like sun, like where you're somehow both blessed in that sense. Do you know what I mean? For example, let's say, for example, they have a friend and that friend works in the entertainment industry and they always have tickets or free tickets for festivals. So your future spouse is also blessed in that sense. Do you know what I mean? Or kind of like where you sometimes go somewhere intuitively and wherever you go, there is a sunset or a sunrise or the best view to see the sun setting or the sun rising. Kind of like where you have like an intuition. I want to go here, and then you see a shooting star there. Do you know what I mean? Or you have the best view to look at the moon in that particular place, but your intuition led you there. So you could also both be blessed when it comes to that, like sunsets, sunrises, shooting stars, or like knowing places where you have the best view. You can look at the moon, or you can look at the sky, you can look at the stars, you know. That's what I'm picking up here as well. You might be both actually blessed when it comes to that. Yeah, with this card right here, there could also be something going on with boat rides. Okay, someone really likes to go on boat rides, someone really likes to go on bike rides or whatever. Okay, or you're gonna do this together a lot, where it's gonna be like part of your love story, you know. We also have the card here, good morning babe, and then it says the day after. Okay, with this card right here, pile number 1, before we go to the extended, okay, we are about to go to the extended and see how your future spouse is gonna feel about all of this, like from their perspective. But pile number 1, do you know what I'm also picking up here? I'm trying to find the right words, so let me think about it. I'm hearing, let me think about it. I don't know why I'm hearing that song. So if you recently heard that song somewhere, or you are about to hear that song somewhere, this is definitely your pal. But also, we talked about this in the beginning of your reading, right? Like where you usually are the kind of person to say, let me think about it. Like you usually don't say yes. You're like, let me think about it. Do you know what I mean? Where you are that kind of person. But with your future spouse, it's going to be like an immediate yes. And you're like, oh my God. Who are you? You must be special. Okay. Again, we're going to talk about everything. Okay. Another thing that I'm also picking up here, and you will know, again, this is also another sign that this is your pal, and it's also going to be a huge sign when it comes to who is your true love and your future spouse, kind of like where you will know, that's my man, that's my woman, because that's a sign, okay? Like, this never happens kind of vibe. Okay. So another thing that I'm also picking up here, there's also this energy in your love story when it comes to waking up together in the morning. What I mean by that is you both had a very significant morning in your life. Let me explain, like separate from each other, okay? Which is the reason why it's gonna be so like, again, let's talk. So you and your future spouse, you both had a moment on your journey called life where you woke up in the morning and you realized, I don't belong here. This is not where I'm meant to be. This is not true love. This is not my home. This is not my place. Kind of like where you wake up in the morning and you feel foreign where you are at, or you feel like this is not where you're meant to be. But it happened like in the morning, kind of like this energy of like, you realizing in the morning something is off, something doesn't feel right, like I'm not meant to be here, this is not my person, or I'm living a life that doesn't feel authentic, I don't want to be in this friendship. Kind of like where you both had like a significant morning on your journey called life, where you woke up and you realized, I'm living in the wrong reality. This is not the reality that I want. This is not the person that I want to be with. I feel like very out of touch. I feel out of alignment. I feel disconnected. This is not where I belong. Where you both had that moment of like waking up and like kind of like a morning where you almost feel like the life that you live does not belong to you. The relationship that you have does not feel like true love. The life that you are living does not feel like it's your life, or it reflects who you truly are. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up here. Or you wake up in the morning and you realize like you don't want to live here. Like this is not the place that you are supposed to be living at. Like a very strong feeling, okay? You both had a moment like that on your journey, which is the reason why waking up with each other in the morning is gonna be so special and so significant, because every morning you're gonna feel like this is where I'm meant to be. This is my place, this is my home, this is my happy place, this is where I'm meant to be. Does that make sense? Almost like a bad memory when it comes to waking up in the morning and realizing, where the hell am I? What the hell am I doing here? Like what is going on? Like what? Kind of like a sad morning, or like a sad morning, or like a morning where you feel so far away from who you truly are, or so out of love with somebody. Kind of like where you lay next to somebody in bed and you look at them and you're like, I don't feel anything. Like I'm not in love. I don't feel anything. Like I don't know what I'm doing here. Or like you had a one night stand and you regret it. You're like, oh my God, I'm not the one night stand kind of person. Why am I even laying next to this person in this bed or whatever? Do you know what I mean? And you're gonna feel like there's like this energy of like, there's gonna be those mornings sometimes where you realize like, yeah, that's my man. I'm truly meant to be here. I'm so in love. Like I'm in love like I was the first time we met, and it's been 5 years, it's been 15 years, and I still feel like so happy in the morning. I still feel like, oh man, like this is the happiest morning ever, because like I wake up next to my favorite person. Does that make sense? Where there's like this energy of like kissing in the morning and hugging in the morning and realizing like, yeah, I made the right decision. But it is because there was a moment on your journey where you had a really sad morning, or a morning where you felt so disconnected, so inauthentic, so fake, being somewhere or being with somebody. That's what this feels like. So you're gonna have a lot of like happy mornings, like making breakfast together in the morning and it's happy, or like, you know, hearing your man or your woman's voice when they say good morning babe is your favorite thing ever. It's like, yeah, you know, where a very significant moment where if people ask you, how did you know that this is really your person? There would be something going on with like, I knew it the morning after, or in the morning, or like, yeah, that's what I'm picking up here. That's what I'm picking up here. Your spirit guides are here. Okay, so you might actually heal a trauma connected to waking up in the morning and feeling like, where the hell am I? Or who the hell am I with? Okay, like what the hell, like this is not my life. I'm living a lie. I'm fake for being here even though I don't want to be here. Like what the hell? Okay, that's what I'm picking up here. Okay, and yeah, they're gonna be kissing your back in the morning and you're gonna be kissing their back in the morning. Okay, and there's like this happy energy in the morning. Okay, instead of sad or depressed, or instead of like this fake happiness, or instead of this inauthenticity that you maybe experience, especially in the morning. I don't know why. lie, okay? Yeah, there's something also about like a daydream about happy mornings, because maybe you grew up and every morning in your family was chaotic or sad, or do you know what I mean? Almost as if like there's like a trauma connected to waking up and there's chaos, or waking up and there's a fight, or waking up and realizing you're in the wrong relationship, or waking up in the morning and realizing you hate your life. Does it make sense? Or you hate the path that you chose. That's what this feels like a morning depression is what I'm picking up here. I don't know if that's a thing. I think it is. Okay, and you're gonna be like, no, I'm so happy. Like every morning I wake up and I'm happy, and like this is crazy. That's what I'm hearing, okay? Or this is like everything that I always wanted, okay? So yeah, something about like happy mornings, and like when they say good morning, babe, like you still get chills and you're still excited and you're still happy about it after 5 years, after 15 years, whatever, okay? Your first night waking up together in the morning is gonna be so like special, and you're gonna be like, yep, that's my man, okay? Because maybe I usually wake up with a bad mood, or usually I wake up feeling off in the morning, and when I wake up next to you, that's also another sign. For some of you guys, you might also be dealing with insomnia, or you don't sleep very well, or sometimes you have sleeping issues. Or do you say sleeping issues? So you sometimes have insomnia, or you don't sleep well, or you have nightmares. When you lay next to your man or your woman, no nightmares, sleeping well, being well rested. That's what I'm picking up here too, okay? For some of you guys, like this might apply to you if you know you have issues sleeping, or something about insomnia or nightmares, okay? Or kind of like where maybe you do have a nightmare and then you wake up and your future spouse helps you very quickly to like process that nightmare or process that bad dream that you had. That's what I'm picking up here too, okay? They just kiss you and all your worries are gone is what I'm picking up here, okay? But yeah, there's gonna be like a lot of cuddling in the morning, or like a lot of like butterflies in your stomach, especially in the morning, or like you're just feeling like your daydream came true when it comes to happy mornings, like eating breakfast and being happy, or cuddling in the morning and being happy, or like waking up and like the energy is good and there's no chaos and no drama, or there's no sadness or morning depression of some sort. I don't know what that is about. Honestly, okay, you would know if this is for you or not. So yeah, pile number one, there could be something going on with like perfect morning. If you say, for example, you want to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go for a run because that's your ideal morning routine, there's something about where you're just both, I almost want to say you might literally have like a similar idea of a perfect morning, if that makes sense. For some of you guys, it might be sleeping in and eating breakfast in bed. For others of you, it might be being productive, like waking up at 6 a.m. in the morning and getting the money, okay? For others of you, it might be going for a run or going to the gym at 7 a.m. in the morning. For others of you, it might be, I don't know, cuddling for 1 hour before you actually start the day. There's something going on with like kind of like where you're going to have like a happy morning routine that you are really happy with. Or for example, they're going to be so happy because every time in the morning you kiss their forehead or you kiss their back, okay, and kind of like where they almost feel like my day starts right, or my day starts happy, or my day starts the way I always wanted it to start. And then, for example, they know that you love your coffee in the morning, and then they go into the kitchen, make your coffee, and you're like, oh my God, like my sexy woman, my sexy man made me coffee, like how much better could my morning start? Do you know what I mean? Where you're both going to do something for the other person, and you're both going to feel like, this is my happy morning, this is my perfect morning, or my day starts off amazing or beautiful, or like I want my morning to look like this all the time, kind of like where you're gonna realize like, you're happy in the morning, or like you're deeply content or peaceful or at ease in the morning, because you're like really happy with your morning routine, or the morning routine that you have together, kind of like where you both start off the day right, because you both do something for each other that makes each other like energized in the morning, happy in the morning, motivated in the morning. You might give them like a lot of kisses, like you kiss them 10 minutes because you love them so much, and then they go to the kitchen and make you breakfast, your favorite breakfast, because they know your favorite breakfast is this and that. So you both do something for each other that that really energizes you, that really makes you feel like, yes, you know, this is how I want to start my day. That's what I'm picking up here, okay? Okay, and you're gonna like watching each other get ready in the morning. That's what I'm picking up here too, where you watch him get ready and they watch you get ready, and you're like, oh, my man, my woman, look at her, look at him, that's mine, okay? That's what I'm picking up here too, okay? But you're gonna maybe even like to observe each other in the morning, like getting ready or whatever. I don't know. It might be like a turn on for the both of you for each other, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up here, okay? Okay, pile number 1. I'm gonna go to your extended now. We're going to look at how will your future spouse experience your love story, okay, from their perspective. Yeah, we're basically looking at how it will feel like for your future spouse to fall in love with you, and how is it gonna feel like for them, kind of like your first date, your second date, kind of like just in general, that your love story is beginning and unfolding, and like, yeah, what is happening inside of them when they look at you, when they feel the love inside of their body, mind, soul, and spirit when they meet you, you know? That's what we're going to look at on Patreon. So if you are interested in that, the link is down in the description box. There's an option for a one-time purchase, or there's an option to subscribe, because I will be posting Future Spouse Extended a lot in the future, and I also have access to all the Future Spouse Extended that I've posted in the past, and also extra content like that has nothing to do with love. Okay, if you feel like you want to watch more readings from me, it's definitely worth it to subscribe to my Patreon, or again, you might be more drawn to a one-time purchase, okay? So yeah, in your extended, we're going to look at how your future spouse will experience everything, like from his or her perspective, okay? How are they going to experience this connection? Yeah, like your love story unfolding and taking shape and like blossoming and blooming and like, yeah, okay? So thank you for being here with me. Leave a like, subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you want to see, okay, like suggestions and stuff like that. And if you watch this reading till the end, maybe leave a purple heart or a yellow heart. I'm going to see my next one, and I wish you a lovely, lovely day. Bye. Hey, pile number 2, welcome to your reading. So as you can tell by the title, this is going to be a future spouse reading, and if you did not watch the intro, basically in this reading what we're going to do is we're going to look at the love story with your true love and your future spouse, kind of like we're going to look at what your love story is going to feel like and look like, and kind of what your journey with each other or what your journey to each other is going to feel like, okay? So this is just like a free-flowing topic where we look at whatever, not something specific such as your first date or your second date or your first kiss. If you are interested in that and you're new here, I've done a lot of pick a card readings on these topics, but I'm gonna probably start to post new ones again. But yeah, this is just like a free-flowing topic, whatever comes out when it comes to your love story. May that be in the middle of your love story, in the beginning of your love story, your journey to each other, your journey with each other, what life is gonna feel like, or how your love story is gonna unfold. That's what we're going to look at here on YouTube, okay? But it's kind of like from the perspective from both of you, kind of like how you're both going to feel about your love story with each other and your romance, and how your romance is like unfolding, okay, and taking shape, and what is it gonna feel like and look like and smell like and whatever, okay? And then on Patreon, I'm going to extend this reading on Patreon. The link is down in the description box if you want to join me. And in this reading, we're going to look at how your future spouse is going to experience your love story, kind of like what is it going to feel like for your future spouse in your true love, to like fall in love with you and walk this journey with you called life, or like them noticing how the romance and the love is unfolding and how it is true love, and like, do you know what I mean? Like, what is it going to feel like for them falling in love with you, or realizing how deeply in love they are with you and your love story and like your connection. Yeah, how they're just going to experience the unfolding of your love story, of your romance, you know? That's what we're going to look at on Patreon. Again, the link is down in the description box if you want to join me. So we will just tap into their perspective, the perspective of your true love and your future spouse, okay? But here on YouTube, again, we're going to look at how you will both experience it, okay? How is it going to feel like for the both of you, okay? Your love story, or whatever might be specific, whatever might be very special about your love story in particular, okay? So let's begin. Okay, first things first, I'm also going to show you the cards as we move along. First things first, pile number 2. This might be a little bit of like, not a warning, but like a heads up from your spirit guides, okay? And if you already, oh, by the way, if you already had a personal reading with me, because I do offer personal readings, if you are interested in that, also everything that you need to know about booking a personal reading with me, all the information is in the description box. But basically, I am gonna offer personal readings for a little bit longer, but not for much longer. So we could talk about the next 2 weeks I will be offering them, or the next few months, but I'm not gonna offer personal readings for too long anymore. So if you want one and want to shoot your shot, you can send me an email, but I'm also very booked and busy, I'm not gonna lie, so you have to come with patience if you send me an email. And I do really take my time if I do personal readings. If you're new here, I'm a very detailed tarot reader, which is the reason why my readings are very long. Readings are longer than usual, I guess. Or like, yeah, so yeah, it's the same thing with the personal readings. I really look at every detail, you know, you get everything. Like I truly offer in-depth readings, if that makes sense, but they also take longer, or they also take more time, which means I'm not as quickly when it comes to like doing one reading after the other. So yeah, you might have to come with patience. But if somebody here is watching this pile and you already had a personal reading with me, and this checks out, okay, because I pick up a little bit of like a heads up from your spirit guides, and I'm picking up a little bit of a heads up from your spirit guides, okay? And again, if you want to know more, you can send me an email, and we're going to look at your specific what this is specifically for you, okay? This heads up that we're about to talk about, because this is a general reading. But yeah, if you would want a personal reading with me, you can try to book one with me and see if I'm still available. Okay, first things first, pile number 2. The first thing that I heard with your love story, I'm hearing an unbreakable bond. Now, why do I say an unbreakable bond? Because there might be somebody trying to break that bond. They're gonna try. Emphasis on trying. Not succeeding, but trying. I'm just saying, okay? But I pick up a strong energy here, pile number 2. When it comes to your love story, it's really going to feel like your bond is unbreakable. Like no matter who's trying to break you up, no matter who's trying to gossip, or no matter who's trying to tell you that you might not be right for each other or whatever, nothing can break you up, nothing can break you apart, not even time, not distance, not a disagreement. Even if you have a disagreement, you know, you still go to bed like loving each other, or still go to bed like understanding where the other person came from. Never going to bed like super mad or super angry at each other. Kind of like the energy where no matter what is trying to come in between you, you always find your way back to each other. But there is somebody who's gonna try to come in between you. I'm just saying, I can see it, okay? They're gonna try, might as well try. It's not gonna work, okay? Because this actually reminds me of a personal reading that I've done recently for somebody, and the same energy came out, that there's like a third party trying to, you know, stir the pot, or was very triggered by two people being in love, and they're like right for each other, and they were just a miserable bachelor or a miserable bachelorette, kind of like a friend that becomes very possessive over you, and they feel like once you are in a relationship, you're going to abandon them. So they do put salt in the wound when you talk about like a misunderstanding that you had with your man or your woman or your babe, and because they want you to break up and they want you back as their friend, you know, because they feel like they're losing you to a relationship, they're gonna put salt in the wound. They're gonna kind of like you know, instigate the fight, or like not de-escalate the fight, but put a little bit more salt into it, you know, a little bit more salt into the wound, because they feel like you what is it called, they're losing you to a relationship that you're in. Okay, so yeah, there's definitely an energy here coming through where there might be a particular person or people just in general, depending on, you know, what's going to happen in your love life. May that be, you might be like a public couple, or you might be in a community where a lot of people know about your relationship, or you might be very low key, but there might be still somebody that might be interested in you or your future spouse, and they're going to try their luck, you know, and then realize that your bond is unbreakable. No matter how much they try to tempt you or your future spouse, they're not budging, you're not budging. Okay, no matter how they try to make you fight, you always reconcile, or you always you know, hug each other and like say sorry to each other, you know. You always find a way to resolve issues and resolve fights and resolve misunderstandings. So no matter what life is throwing at you, no matter what people are trying to throw at you in your relationship, it doesn't work. It's an unbreakable bond. Okay, again, no matter the time, no matter the distance, no matter the person that is trying to break you up, no matter the gossip, no matter what, nobody can break you up or keep you apart for too long. Okay, be a particular chapter in your relationship where you're also realizing like, wow, my man really loves me because like, or my woman really loves me because this was supposed to break us up. This was supposed to separate us. This was supposed to like break us as a couple, but it didn't, you know. There's this energy of realizing that you have something very special, and that's why people do maybe get jealous or they get triggered. You know, almost as if you realize like, wow, I must really have something special, or my relationship must be really special or beautiful that people get jealous of it, or my partner must be really like, I don't know to explain it, as if you realize that you have something precious that needs to be protected. Because I'm also hearing, after you realize that somebody's instigating, or after you realize that, you know, somebody wants you or your man, and you might talk openly about it, like, hey babe, somebody tried to tempt me or seduce me today, you know, and it almost feels like whoever is going to try to come in between you and your future spouse, they're only going to make your bond stronger. Why? Because it almost feels like you're going to become even more protective of each other. Kind of like, I really want to protect this relationship because I can clearly see that, you know, some people do really get triggered by a happy couple because they are miserable. They might be miserably single, or do you know what I mean? Or they might be very bitter when it comes to love. So I'm not going to take their advice. Or they might be very like, yeah, triggered that I have a wife or a girlfriend or a boyfriend that adores me and loves me and is faithful. And because they cannot find it, they're trying to tell me that, oh, just wait until they screw up, or just wait until they're going to become unfaithful, as if they lost their hope in true love. As if they lost their hope in true love or love that can last, and they project their fear onto you and tell you that you have not found true love, or you have not found a diamond in a rough, or you have not found a beautiful woman or a beautiful man that is going to love you for the rest of their life. Does that make sense? There's this energy of like, you know what? I'm realizing that I have something so precious and so beautiful and something so rare that I have to protect it. So you're both going to become really, really protective of each other. is what I'm picking up here, or kind of like where your relationship is gonna last because you are intentionally protective of each other, especially when it comes to who do I talk to about a fight that we had, a disagreement that we had, who do I talk to about even the happy things like happy news, or like how much I love my men and how much they adore me, okay? So there could be a chapter in your relationship where you or your future spouse, or the both of you, realize that somebody's trying to come in between the two of you, but you are crazy for each other. You love each other. You intuitively you might even intuitively pick up on it. Kind of like, I'm kind of sensing some jealousy, or I'm kind of sensing some bad relationship advice, or I'm sensing some instigation, or I'm sensing that you didn't like my boyfriend in the first place and that's why you say certain things, or you didn't like my girlfriend in the first place and that's why you say certain things. You know, it's not like constructive criticism, but destructive criticism, you know. So yeah, there's definitely gonna be a chapter in your relationship, pile number 2, where somebody's gonna try to instigate a breakup. I'm not gonna lie. Or the energy of like somebody trying to tempt you or your future spouse, but again, you're crazy for each other. You're kind of like where you can see in your man's eyes that they're crazy for you and they have no interest in anybody else, and they can see in your eyes that you are locked in, that this is the only man, the only woman that you want to look at. I even pick up this energy here of like, I talked about this in a different future spouse reading, so if this rings a bell, this is definitely connected, kind of like where this reading is connected with this one, which is a confirmation that this is really your pal, because it's kind of like 2 puzzle pieces, you know. But I also pick up like this sexy tension between you and your future spouse, where you really like to look at each other, you really like to observe each other, you really like to just look at each other like eye candy, or like my favorite show, or like my favorite movie, or like my favorite main character that I like to watch in a TV show or in a movie. Do you know what I mean? Kind of like where there's like a sexy tension of like always checking each other out, always looking at each other from across the room. I did mention that in a different reading, so this might make sense, or you know, might ring a bell. Okay, and then in another reading, and also if it's your first time, people told me that my readings usually feel like they are connecting. So if you find yourself going to a different reading and you hear me talking about this, it just means that these 2 readings are connected. It was the last Future Spouse Pick a Card reading that I posted, where I was mentioning in a particular pile. I was mentioning that energy, but I also pick up an energy here where, yeah, there's gonna be a chapter in your love story where you're both going to do something for each other, or because you are in love, that is gonna look crazy to other people, but to each other it's gonna be like the ultimate declaration of love, like the ultimate, this man really loves me from head to toe, or this man really like only has, his heart only beats for me, her heart only beats for me. But it is because you're both gonna do something crazy. Do you know what I mean? There's this energy of like a crazy I love you, but in terms of like what they're gonna do to show you that they love you and they only have eyes for you, you know. But it's also because there is somebody trying to make you look their way, or there is somebody trying to make your future spouse look their way and not your way. Do you know what I mean? Okay, I'm getting sassy. So yeah, there is this energy of like, when it comes to your love story, there's this energy of like knowing that you are crazy about each other. It's not like, oh, I don't know if my man loves me, or I hope they love me. No, you know that they love you. You know they're crazy for you. You know that you're the only one for each other. But it could also be kind of like a declaration, kind of like doing something really crazy, like, I don't know, you know, maybe you have a fight. I'm just giving an example, okay? Let's say, for example, you have a fight or a disagreement and it's a long distance relationship. They would come fly to see you and resolve the issue, and you're like, oh my god, you're crazy, like it's Monday, where they actually have to be at work, but they take a day or 2 off of work to fly to you because they feel like they have to resolve this fight or this disagreement face to face, and not through text or not through a FaceTime, where they want to stand in front of you. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, oh my god, babe, you're crazy, you know? Do you know what I mean? Like, you didn't have to do this. Or this energy of, Oh my God, why am I seeing that here? Oh, why am I seeing that here? I'm seeing a tattoo. I'm seeing a tattoo. So kind of like a tattoo of your initials, or tattoo, like a tattoo of your name, or something like that, like something crazy like that, kind of like I love you, and so I'm gonna put your name on my chest, or I'm gonna you know, tattoo your initial on my hand. Like something like that is what I'm picking up. Is something like, what the hell, you are crazy, you know. Or I don't know, there might be at the club, you know, partying with a friend, and they can tell that somebody's trying to tempt them. You know what they're gonna do? FaceTime you in the middle of the club. Do you know what I mean? Like something crazy. It's like a, I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up. Your love story is gonna feel like you're crazy in love, and you are crazy about each other, and that's why you do crazy things. But that's also maybe like the reason why people want to challenge the relationship, because they feel like, oh, he's obsessed with her, but I'm gonna chime in. It's kind of like an ego boost. Do you know what I mean? Or she's obsessed with him and I'm gonna chime in. I'm gonna like break that obsession. Kind of like where somebody wants to break the obsession that you have for each other, but it's more so like an ego boost, kind of like a, you know, what's so good about them? Like what's so, why, like they're not even that cute, or they're not even that pretty, so let me chime in. I don't know how to explain it, okay? I don't know how to explain it, okay? But yeah, there's this energy of like just being obsessed with each other, and there's this energy of like, you know, people can tell. People might get triggered by that because they feel like they couldn't find it, so they're gonna be jealous that you found such a love. I'm hearing, may this type of love find me. This is how people are gonna feel about your relationship, you know? But it's also gonna trigger maybe a specific person or certain people, and they're gonna try, yeah, to kind of like break that love spell. Do you know what I mean? But it's a love spell that cannot be broken, because it's an, like, it's not a forced love spell. It's a true, natural, occurring love spell. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up here. Okay, there's this energy of like, you know, sometimes you kiss each other and it's like a kiss of trust, or a kiss of nobody can break us up, or a kiss of, I know they tried to seduce you, but I don't worry about it, because every time you kiss me, I can feel the love, I can feel the craziness, I can feel the obsession, I can feel that you just want me, okay, like I'm your favorite flavor. Okay, that's the energy, and that's also the reason why when it comes to insecurities or jealousy, you're not gonna have a lot of that in your relationship, or you're gonna work through it very quickly if there is an energy of like insecurity or like jealousy or whatever. But I also feel like there's gonna be a moment where you realize, my man is crazy in love with me, because look what he's doing. He's acting a fool, but he's acting a fool because he loves me. Or look at her, she's acting crazy, but she's acting crazy, she's acting a fool because she loves me. And it's kind of like a moment where from that moment on, you never worry ever again that something can break you up, or that somebody can come in between. Even if they try, you might even find yourself laughing about it. You might even find yourself joking about it. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm picking up here. And then there's also this energy of like becoming very protective of each other, because you are gonna clock it. Okay, or from that moment on, you realize like, well, I really got to protect this relationship, because people actually are jealous of happy relationships. They're actually jealous when they see that your woman is obsessed with you, or your man is obsessed with you, because they couldn't find it. Or like, I really got to protect my relationship from miserable bachelorettes, kind of like where people want you to also stay single for the rest of your life, because they feel like they're going to stay single for the rest of their life. So when you end up in a relationship, they might get triggered by it, because they feel like they lost you to the lovers community, and now they're the only one who's a bachelor or a bachelorette, or like a forever bachelor or a forever bachelorette. Does that make sense? Okay, let me show you the cards actually. It says, can I trust you? Release trust issues, building deep trust. Okay. And then we also have the card here, quality time. There's also a card that I cannot show you. Okay, I might show that card to you on Patreon because it's spicy, but I'm not sure. This one also says quality time. Okay, and then we have this card right here which says, it's like a poem by Perry Poetry. It says, it's you because no one else makes sense. So it's kind of like, it's gonna feel like there's nobody on this planet that is gonna makes more sense to be with. Like, I don't know how to explain it, almost as if like nobody else makes sense to be with. This is how you're both gonna feel about each other. So it's gonna feel like weird when people try to chime in, or when people try to tell you, oh, how do you know it's them? It's like a no-brainer for you. But again, it's also, or like, how do you know that they love you unconditionally? Or how do you know they're the one? But there's gonna be a moment where, again, you do something and it's a moment of like, wow, he's crazy in love with me. What the hell? Okay, he's precious. Okay. Or kind of like, you don't find men or women like that everywhere, you know, or like you don't find women or men like that with such a big heart and like their heart on their sleeves, like everywhere. Which is also the reason why people get jealous, or they want what you have, or they want to ruin it because they couldn't find it. Okay. Yeah, and then it says, maybe we're both crazy. So yeah, there's gonna be this energy of like, I know you're crazy in love with me, and you know that I'm crazy in love with you, and so nobody can make me feel insecure. Because he's my man, okay? He's my man, no matter where he is, and I don't worry about it, because I know. And they're gonna feel the same way about you, kind of like, that's my lady, that's my girl, and no matter where she is, I don't worry about it, because I know she's crazy for me, you know? But crazy in a beautiful way, not like in a crazy, crazy way. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm picking up here, okay? But again, it's a heads up from your spirit guides that there might be a test of your relationship, if that makes sense. Okay, or somebody's gonna try to test your relationship, or somebody is gonna be miserable seeing you in love and crazy for each other. Not gonna lie, okay? Or there is gonna be somebody that is gonna try to tempt you or your future spouse, but it's not working, okay? In fact, it's gonna make you both more protective over the relationship than before. Kind of like the moment where you realize like, wow, I really got a good thing that I need to protect because people are miserable. It's true, okay? Okay, this is for some of you guys, not for all of you. For some of you guys, I'm also hearing you sometimes have prophetic dreams, kind of like where you dream and then you see what is happening, or like you see stuff happening in your dreams and then a couple of weeks later it actually happens. So for some of you guys, there could also be something going on with prophetic dreams, okay? When it comes to your love life, like, part number 2, do you know what I'm also seeing, especially for those that have prophetic dreams? You know how when women sometimes, or people sometimes say, I had a dream, and in that dream my partner cheated on me, and then it's kind of like a prophecy, because then they come to find out that dream was trying to tell them something. With you, I actually pick up the opposite. You might actually have dreams, in case you do have prophetic dreams, where your future spouse might be very protective over you, or they might reject somebody, kind of like when your future spouse is rejecting somebody, but they might not tell you about it because they don't want you to be mad or angry or whatever. And then you tell them like, hey babe, I had a dream that you like rejected a girl at a coffee shop or whatever, and she wanted your number, and you said, no, I have a girlfriend, I'm happy in my relationship, like, and they're like, oh my god, yeah, this really happened. And then you talk about it. Do you know what I mean? I pick up like the opposite, where you literally see in your dreams that they reject people instead of cheating on you. Do you know what I mean? Like, even your dreams tell you you can trust your man or your woman. That's what I'm picking up here. Okay, in case you do have prophetic dreams, and in case, yeah, this is the energy where people say like, you know, like, I'm scared somebody's gonna cheat on me, or are you not scared they're gonna cheat on you? But you're not gonna have any doubt or any like fear when it comes to that topic, you know? Because again, there's going to be like significant moments in your love story that take that fear away from you completely, you know, and you completely trust your man or your woman, you know. That's what I'm picking up here. I don't know, kind of, okay. Okay, that's interesting, because I'm also hearing you might also both be highly sensitive when it comes to bad energy or bad vibes, kind of like where you're both very sensitive when it comes to immediately noticing a shift in the room, immediately noticing somebody doesn't like you, immediately noticing jealousy, or immediately noticing like bad vibes and bad energy. This doesn't even only have to this might not even only be in regards to people, but also like, I feel like we should move into this home. The energy is bad. I think we should go elsewhere. Like, I don't want to stay at this restaurant. The waitress is weird. Do you know what I mean? So you could both also be to people that are very highly sensitive when it comes to bad energy and bad vibes, or very intuitive when it comes to, we shouldn't stay here, the energy is off, or this person is off, or they give me bad vibes, or whatever. That's what I'm picking up here too. Okay, so you're also going to be my very, very intuitive couple that is almost like avoiding negative energy and bad juju and bad vibes, because you're both like, I literally see you both looking at each other like, babe, should we go? But just eye contact, okay? It's just eye contact, like, babe, did you see what she just said? Like, I think she got a thing for you, or whatever. And he's like looking back at you, or she's looking back at you, and she's like, yeah, I clocked it too. Yeah, I clocked it too. So there's also this energy of like eye contact, like, should we leave? Like, yeah, let's leave, you know? Kind of like a secret language that nobody understands but you and your future spouse, and you clock either jealousy, or somebody wants you, or somebody wants your man or your woman. And you're like looking at each other like, what the hell was that? Or like, you know what, babe, let's leave. Like, let's not stay here. And this is so funny because I literally see you avoiding a lot of bad vibes or bad energy or bad things happening, such as a loss of money, or, you know what I mean? Kind of like where you almost like have good luck, but it is because you avoid bad luck. But it is because you're both very sensitive to bad energy, or you're both very sensitive to negative energy, or like people that are shady. So you're not gonna find yourself like, do you know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna find yourself like in shady places, because you're both gonna feel weird. Like, babe, do you feel weird? Like, I feel weird, I wanna go. And if you're supposed to like, yeah, me too, I don't like the energy here. Or let's stay home today. Like, I have a bad vibe or a bad feeling about going to this event or party. That's the vibe that is coming through here, okay? So if you ever felt like pile number 2, that people sometimes don't understand that you have a weird feeling about somebody, and then come to find out later that this person really is a bad person, or really was shady, or really was mean, or really didn't like you, but it comes out later, you do not have to worry about this when it comes to your future spouse. They're very intuitive as well when it comes to like jealousy, or the energy shifting, or like a backhanded compliment of some sort, or like, yeah, so you would never have to worry about like voicing that you feel weird about somebody or something, because 9 times out of 10 your future spouse noticed it as well. So your future spouse is gonna be like your best friend when it comes to noticing bad energy and bad vibes. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of like where you would never have to like, you know, you would never feel like dismissed in your feelings that the energy is off. Your future spouse will always notice it and clock it too, okay? Or even when you maybe voice it and they notice it afterwards. That's what I'm picking up here as well, okay? Again, even when it comes to, I don't want to be here, the energy is bad, I don't want to go to this party, I don't have a good feeling, and then come to find out later there was really something bad happening at that event or that party, okay? So yeah, there's this energy of like, your love story is gonna feel very unbreakable, very protective, and very intuitive. And this energy of like not needing to explain your intuition, because your future spouse has the same intuition as you. They noticed something as well. They noticed the energy as well. They noticed something going on over there as well. Okay, that's what I'm picking up here, where you're both gonna be like, you know, walking very intuitively through life, and as a couple, which is going to really protect your relationship and your connection, okay? Pile number 2, I'm hearing your future spouse is going to be your intuition's best friend. You're going to feel like you are each other's best friends when it comes to intuition, or kind of like when you don't notice something, they notice it, and when they don't notice something, you notice it. Kind of like where your intuition is going to work together like a dream team, or you are each other's best friend to each other's intuition, or you are a safe space for each other's intuition. Kind of like, babe, I feel weird about something, can we talk about it? And then they notice it too, or they say like, yeah, I felt it too. So there will never be an energy of like, I feel like my intuition has been dismissed. I feel like people call me superstitious. I feel like people tell me, oh, oh, you're overthinking it, or something is not as deep, kind of like where you maybe notice that somebody doesn't like you, and a person says to you, oh, it's just in your mind. Your future spouse will never be in that energy whatsoever. There's going to be like an energy where your intuition is going to be so deeply in sync that it is safe for you to talk about what your intuition is actually trying to tell you, or feelings that you feel, or shifts that you notice. Do you know what I mean? And they're going to be like, yeah, babe, I felt it too. I didn't say anything because I thought maybe I'm doing too much or I'm thinking too much into it, but now that you say it, like I felt it too. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm picking up here. So your man or your woman is going to be your intuition's best friend. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, and your future spouse is going to feel like you are their safe space for their intuition. Kind of like you are going to be each other's safe space for like thoughts and feelings that not everybody understands, especially when it comes to like intuition. Like your intuition is trying to tell you something. And yeah, not everybody's going to get it, especially people that are not intuitive, they're not going to get it, right? So even your future spouse is also going to feel like, you're my baby, you're my safe space to talk about my intuition, you know? And yeah, and it's kind of like it's guiding you both in the right direction, that you can talk to each other about each other's intuition, you know? Which is also going to be the reason why a lot of fights will not happen. It's like where people want to instigate the fight, but a lot of fights will not even happen, even though it was the plan of people to make you fight. Okay, if that makes sense, okay? That's the energy that is coming through here. Like I literally see your future spouse like hugging you from behind, and they feel like, I'm protecting you, or I'm protecting this, or I am going to trust my intuition when it comes to what I need to do in order to make this relationship work. I'm not taking relationship advice from miserable people, or like something like that, or like, you know, hugging you extra tightly in front of a woman that wants to seduce them, in front of a man that wants to seduce them. They're going to give you like an extra sexy kiss in front of that man or that woman that wants to seduce them. Okay, yeah. That's what I'm picking up here very, very strongly, okay? I actually want to see what this energy is about. But yeah, it's a heads up from your spirit guides. There might be a test, or somebody's going to try to test how much do you really love each other? How crazy are you really for each other? You know, like, he's not really that into you, I can seduce him. She's not really that into you, I can seduce her. Or again, like somebody that is miserable because they have not yet found love. So when you find love, they give you bad relationship advice, or they project their fear onto you. So you got to be careful with that, okay? Can you clarify that energy though? I want to know what that shady energy is about. Yeah, it says melting, but I'm picking up like an ice. It's so funny. I don't know why this energy is coming through here. I'm being brought to Drake and like his Iceman album, but it says melting. So this makes me feel like you're gonna talk about something that your future spouse is doing, or your relationship, or like a beautiful date that you had, or like how happy you are, and you've never been this happy, you've never been this sure, you've never been so in love, okay? And I see you like talking, and like, you know, it kind of like where, you know, when people say like the expression, my heart is melting, or like, you know, like I feel like I'm melting because this is so cute, or like my heart is melting. I don't know if that's an expression in English, but I think it's something that we say in Germany, to be honest with you. Like my heart is melting, I think it's an expression, but I'm picking up the energy of like people that have a heart, but the heart is an icebox, if that makes sense. So when they hear you talk about like cute little dates and cute little things, and like your whirlwind romance and how crazy you are in love with each other, it almost is gonna trigger them, because they have like their heart is made out of ice. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. Like where you talk about like, oh, and then they kissed me and the kiss was beautiful and this and that, and like that's why I know that they love me, or like that was the most beautiful date ever, that was the most beautiful birthday ever. And like I pick up this energy of like a normal person would feel like, oh my god, that's so cute, but a person that is like jaded or that is cynical, they almost don't want to believe that something so beautiful is real. I don't know how to explain it, okay? Basically they don't believe in true love anymore. So they act a little weird when they see true love. Yeah, okay. That's what I'm picking up here, okay? Let me see. I want to get one more card here. Or this melting energy could also be kind of like where maybe winter is going to be a significant season. Kind of like where your love story is, or like your love for each other is going to be strong enough to overcome winter, metaphorically speaking. And then in spring, kind of like a difficult time. And then in spring, you know, the buds are blossoming again. That's what I'm picking up here, okay? Your love story is gonna be a love story where people might bank on you breaking up, but they're wrong. They might bet on it, but they're gonna lose money if they bet on it, okay? They're being proven wrong. I don't even want to talk too much about them, but I do really feel like your spirit guides want to give you a heads up that there will be a test of your relationship. I'm not gonna lie, okay? Kind of like, do you allow somebody to make you insecure about your man or your woman? Or do you start to develop an even deeper trust, or you start to tap even more into your intuition, or see how important it is to differentiate between anxiety and intuition? I literally just had a personal reading where I talked about this to somebody, okay? So it's also maybe even going to test you. How much do you trust your intuition? If somebody's telling you some bomberclad side story, or like they tell you something, or like how confident are you? Are you confident enough to make this relationship work? Are you going to work on your confidence? Are you going to work on comparing yourself to other women or other men? Because this man, this woman only wants you. So it's up to you to work on it so that it doesn't become an issue in your relationship. Okay? So I think it's also going to test you and how strong your intuition is, or how much you trust it, or how deep your confidence is, or if you are able and ready to upgrade your confidence, to work on your confidence, to work on your intuition, to work on your communication skills. Does that make sense? Yeah. There's this energy of like, I'm not gonna let anybody ruin this. I'm not gonna allow anybody to not even take my man away, because that's not the energy, or my woman away. That's not the energy. It's like this man or this woman has a heart of gold, and I'm gonna protect this, or like, it's kind of like a blessing that you want to appreciate. Yeah, your relationship is gonna feel like a blessing that you want to appreciate, or like a blessing that needs to be protected, you know? Yeah, that's what I'm picking up here. You're gonna look at your man or your woman as a blessing that needs to be protected, and that needs to be cherished, and that needs to, that deserves protection, that deserves like kind of like a watchful eye, as in, you know, checking if there's any danger, any bad energy, and if it's not, then, you know, we can relax, or like there can be some kind of relaxation, or we can just chill. But if there's something going on, I gotta clock it, or I gotta notice it, you know, even within me, even within yourself, not just like with other people, okay? But yeah, that's what I'm picking up here, okay? Let me get one more card, and then we're going to move on from this third party energy here. Let's see. Can you give me one more card? What is that energy about? We have otherworldly, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like where people are going to feel like your love story feels like a fairy tale, feels like too good to be true, and so they're not going to believe that it is true, and they're going to try to tell you that you're believing in a fairy tale that doesn't exist, but it does. It does. That's what I'm picking up here. One more. Do you know what I'm also hearing? Oh, look at that love. Do you know what I'm also hearing? I'm also hearing walking each other home. Your love story could also be like, I also pick up an energy of where you're really gonna like to take walks, like May that be in the city, may that be in a park, may that be a morning walk, an evening walk, a walk watching the sunset, or like a walk by dawn. Okay, because if I look at this card right here, you can literally see a lady and she's like wearing high heels. And they're gonna love when you wear high heels. One more thing, okay, that you need to know about your true love and your future spouse, they're gonna be so turned on when you wear high heels. Okay, they're gonna be like, take your clothes off but keep the high heels on. Okay, or they might even want to put the high heels on your feet. They might really, oh my god, what am I tapping into here? Okay, oh yeah, that's what I'm picking up here. Okay, we're going to talk about it a little bit later. Or if you are a guy watching me, or a woman that is looking for another woman, or maybe bisexual, or whatever, whoever, your future spouse could also really like to wear high heels and you're gonna find it sexy. Okay, so flip it how it works for you. Okay, you might also be a female watching and you are into females, and she might, like, your future spouse might be the one wearing high heels and you're gonna be turned on by it. Okay, or you are a guy watching me and your future spouse is gonna really enjoy high heels and stuff like that, and there's gonna be this sexy energy of like, take your clothes off but keep the high heels on, or she's gonna get you going when she puts her high heels on, or whatever. Okay, and it's gonna be a thing between the two of you. She's gonna like enjoy buying high heels and you're gonna enjoy watching her put them on and, like, you know, going out together and like whatever. Okay, because I'm also picking up the energy of like somebody liking the other person's feet and they're making love to the feet, but I also pick up the energy of like, that's my man and I'm gonna rub his feet because he treats me like a queen, and I don't mind rubbing his feet because he treats me well, she treats me well, so why not do something like beautiful for them as well? It's kind of like I don't know, like, there's no pride, there's just love. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, anyway, so another thing that I'm also picking up here with this card right here, okay, because it looks like she's walking, and here this card you can also see that they're walking, because for some reason I also pick up an energy here of like walking each other home. And what I mean by that, this could also talk about, like, again, I feel like you're both gonna be highly sensitive people or highly intuitive people, kind of like where if something is off, you cannot fake the funk, or if something is off, you have a bad mood. If something is off, you cannot smile because you feel some kind of heavy energy, or you feel off, or you feel like something is not right, and you gotta address it, and there's no way that you can like mask that feeling of feeling off, or being sad, or being moody, or like feeling like something is not right. And you're both like that, because I'm talking about your love story when it comes to the both of you. Okay, and I pick up this energy here of like you going on walks together, where you take a walk together, or you feel like it's time for some fresh air to get out of the house and just take a walk, you know, and just talk. And every time you take a walk and you talk, you find out, you kind of like you remove the stone in the shoe, kind of like where you find out what has been making you feel heavy or bad or sad, you know, and then the energy is harmonious again. That's what I'm picking up here, like where you're gonna love taking walks with each other and finding out why you feel heavy, what is up in the air, you know. And yeah, your true love and your future spouse, you're gonna be like the perfect person to investigate for each other what the stone in the shoe is. So you're gonna love taking walks together and like investigate where the bad vibes, the bad energy comes from. Okay, because I'm hearing walking each other home, but it almost feels like walking each other home to a place of harmony, to a place of happiness, where after the talk you feel harmonious again, you feel balanced again, you feel happy again. Okay, it's kind of like walking you back home mentally, emotionally, or spiritually, when there was something that threw you off balance, when there was something that made you insecure about your path, when there was something that almost like effed with your energy, and then your energy was off, and then as soon as you are close to your future spouse, your energy is back normal again. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up. You kind of like where you feel like not normal or off because you encounter somebody or something, and then as soon as you are in each other's energy, you feel normal again. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up here, because for some reason I'm being brought to Zendaya. I watched like an interview of Zendaya today, like not a whole interview, but like a little clip where kind of like what she talked about how she knew that she met her person, like, you know, and she said that she noticed that instead of feeling nervous around her man, she felt calm, or that she noticed that it's actually the opposite. When she's away from her man, she feels nervous and not in his presence. So that's what I'm picking up here too, kind of like where you maybe even feel nervous or off being away from each other. Not that you are like, what is it called, codependent. That's not what I'm talking about. It just feels like you know, I gotta come back to my center, like energetically or emotionally or mentally, where there is something that is like not in alignment with you and you can feel it. And as soon as you are in your future spouse's energy, as soon as you hear his voice or her voice, the energy is back normal again. The energy is aligned again, or you don't feel that nervousness anymore. That's what I'm picking up here, because there's a lot of things that can distract us, lead us astray, throw us off balance, create some kind of like disharmony, right? In everyday life. And it's kind of like every time I look at you, talk to you, hold your hand, harmony is restored. That's what I'm hearing. Or like I know what the issue is. I know like what that feeling is, and then I can like, you know, get rid of it. I don't know. Okay, so you're gonna literally and mentally and spiritually and physically walk each other home. That's what your love story is gonna feel like walking each other home. Even for example, an identity crisis or a mental breakdown. That's what I'm picking up here, like kind of like walking each other back home, where you belong. You could even be my pal, where you sometimes like to be out and about and sometimes you're like, just stay home, babe. Okay, the energy is way better here than over there. The grass is greener over here than over there. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up here. Okay, your love story is gonna feel like you walk each other home all the time. Yeah, because you know what the funny thing is with today's reading, I am noticing a theme. Oh yeah, I'm also doing pattern recognition. You could both be really good at pattern recognition, but also have a blind spot, kind of like where you can recognize patterns in other people's life, but when it comes to your own life, it's not easy for you to sometimes notice a pattern that makes you sad and what you need to do in order to break that cycle. But I'm hearing you're both gonna be like each other's like pattern recognition, kind of like where they recognize a pattern in your life and help you to get out of it, and you recognize a pattern in their life. But I'm also hearing, because pile number 1 was my neurodivergent couple, or like the beautiful like energy between neurotypical and neurodivergent, you know, where they balance each other out like yin and yang. Or two neurodivergent people, kind of like twin flame energy or opposites attract, such as neurotypical and neurodivergent. You are my highly sensitive pal. You and your future spouse, you're both very sensitive to harsh energies, or you're both very sensitive when it comes to absorbing other people's feelings, kind of like an empath that can take on the energy and the feelings of other people, and then you wonder why you feel off. You and your future spouse, you have that in common. That's what I'm picking up here. Or you're both very sensitive to something. This might even be like where you're both very sensitive. And I pick up this energy here of like, maybe you being sensitive annoys people. Like, oh, why you gotta be so sensitive? Or where you have like certain, for example, allergies, or you have like certain food sensitivities, or you might be weird sometimes when it comes to something, kind of like where you're very sensitive with certain things. And people maybe get annoyed by it, but you're gonna be like each other's like safe haven when it comes to your sensitivities, like where they have like a heart or like an understanding, an open ear, or like a listening ear when it comes to what you're sensitive to. And they might even notice like, oh, you know, maybe the light is too bright here. My woman is not gonna like it. My man is not gonna like it. Let's go to a different restaurant. Do you know what I mean? I'm just giving you an example, okay? Let's say, for example, you get a headache very easily. And so you have to be very sensitive, or you have to be very careful when it comes to maybe a scent, or maybe the light is too bright, or dimming the light, or not going into places that are too like bright, like the light is too bright. And people get annoyed by it, or they don't care about it, or they take you somewhere anyway that triggers your headache because they don't give a fuck or they don't listen. And if your spouse is like, no, we cannot go here because my wife, my lady, my girl, my man, I don't know, like it's probably going to be too bright for them here. They're probably going to get a headache from this. So they're very aware of like, this is not going to be good for my lady, for my man, so we're not going to go here. And you don't have to over explain yourself. You don't have to feel guilty for being this way. You don't have to feel like a party pooper. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm picking up here. But you are doing this for each other. So your future spouse is the same way as you when it comes to like either being very sensitive to something, or like just having like, again, allergies, being sensitive to certain foods, maybe even health things, you know, that you gotta accommodate is what I'm picking up, is I think the right word. That's what I'm picking up here. So it's gonna feel like you don't annoy your man or your woman. There is this energy of like, they already took care of it, they already thought about it, and you're just having a good time without feeling sad, or without feeling like a burden, without feeling like you annoy somebody with being so sensitive, or without feeling alone, feeling so sensitive, where you feel like you are alone in feeling this way. Your man or your woman is going to be like, no, I felt this too, or I'm feeling it too, or I don't know what's going on here, but something is going on here, babe. I can feel it too. Yeah, that's what I pick up here very, very strongly. You and your future spouse, you're both very sensitive. You're both very like aware. You're both you clock something very quickly, or you both realize like, I don't know, stranger danger, or I'm getting a backhanded compliment, I'm getting some jealousy, but maybe other people before told you, you interpret too much into it, or I don't understand why you don't like this person. You're both the kind of people to notice somebody being shady before everybody else, and then people call you a hater, or people call you too sensitive, or people call you superstitious. Yeah, you're not gonna be alone in this energy ever again once you meet your true love and your future spouse. They're like, nope, it quacks like a duck and it walks like a duck, it is a duck. But again, it's not just in regards to people, but also your own energy, where you feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm doing something that makes me sad or depressed, and I don't know what it is. And then your man is like, looking at you, and he's like, you know what, babe, I've noticed something, I've noticed a pattern. And then you talk about it and you're like, whoa, that is so true. That's what I'm picking up here. And then you can kind of like overcome this, or like break the pattern, or make a change, or like, that's what I'm picking up here. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm picking up here. Okay, let me get one more card. Yeah, there's this energy of like, where you hold each other's hand, and like you just understand the other person, and them being sensitive, or them being a little, you know, like particular with certain things, you know, and you feel like they already took care of it, and you didn't even have to explain or over explain or defend yourself, because they know. There could also be a lot going on with like talking to each other with eyes, you know, like a telepathic communication, talking with each other in their eyes, like where you talk to each other, but it's eye contact, like an eye contact conversation. It's gonna be normal for you guys, you know, or like a secret language is gonna be normal for you guys, is what I'm picking up here, okay? And again, a bond that cannot be broken. I literally see you like holding hands, and somebody wants to do this to kind of like make you not hold each other's hand anymore, but it like the grip becomes stronger. That's what I'm picking up here, okay? This is what your spirit guides are showing me, okay? For some reason, I want to get one more card, and then we are going to go to the extended, and we're going to look at how you're supposed to experience like your love story. Okay, let me see. I think I want to get one more card here. Yeah, because this one says, I know exactly what you need, follow my lead. So sometimes it's gonna feel like you can follow your man's lead or your woman's lead, kind of like where on certain days you are confused and you don't know what to do, or you feel off, and then your man or your woman is taking care of making sure that you have a beautiful day or a beautiful date, or making sure that we find out where this bad energy or this bad vibe comes from. And they're like, follow my lead, babe. I know what you need, or I know what's gonna help you, or I know what you need, or I know what we both need, you know, where you follow their lead. And then on other days, they might be confused, they might feel off, and they might need your lead. They might need you to take their hand and like guide them. Okay, that's what I'm picking up here. Let's see. Can you give me one more card here? What is part number 2's love story gonna feel like or be like? Yeah, we have the King of Roses, the executive producer, the King of Wands. Interesting. Okay, yeah. Like I literally pick up the energy here where you're always gonna end up agreeing on not liking somebody. So there's never going to be like a disagreement of like, oh, I think you're thinking too much about it. Or do you know what I mean? Kind of like where you don't like somebody, but your man or your woman does. And then it creates like an issue. But this person wanted to create an issue between the two of you. So I don't know to explain. It's kind of like where you're always going to end up not liking the same place or not liking the same person. Kind of like where you both are going to agree so many times when it comes to, I don't like that place. I never want to go back here. I don't like this person. I have a bad feeling about them. I don't want to go here because I don't like that hotel. Let's go elsewhere, you know? And you don't gotta like, what is it called? Surrender to something that you don't like just because you want to compromise, you know? And I don't know, where people tell you're too sensitive, or I don't know what's wrong with you, like whatever, acting like the energy really is not off even though it is off. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, that's what I'm picking up here too. Yeah. There could also be something going on with coffee, okay, where you're both gonna really love coffee, or you're gonna have a favorite drink together, like you're both gonna be obsessed with a drink is what I'm picking up here too, or like a coffee, or like a, I don't know, the same cocktail. You're gonna love cocktails, making cocktails, or making each other coffee in the morning, knowing each other's coffee order, or having like a favorite drink is what I'm picking up here that you're both gonna share. Okay, but yeah, I pick up a strong energy here where your love story is gonna feel like it's a love story or a relationship that was tested and was withstanding the test, kind of like, yeah, was withstanding the test, or you were still standing after a storm, or you you noticed when to protect each other, when to protect the relationship. You noticed when your love for each other triggered somebody, and you got to get away from this energy ASAP, okay, because you're no longer a people pleaser. And you know you found your person, and you know they have a pure heart and a heart made out of gold, and you're going to protect the person that deserves protection, that deserves defending, that deserves to be protected and be highly spoken about. And you're going to do this for each other, okay? That's what I'm picking up here. Or that deserves, like, yeah, somebody to protect them, because they don't deserve any bad treatment. They're just a person that is trying their best, and they don't mean no harm to anybody. So if you think like you can talk some shit to my man or my woman, It's not gonna happen. And you're gonna do this to each other, okay? So if you tell me you're conflict shy, part number 2, you might actually find yourself that this relationship is also gonna activate like an energy within you, kind of like your dark feminine or your dark masculine energy. And what I mean by that is a dark feminine or a dark masculine comes out when you are in need of protection, kind of like where you start to look at somebody with an intimidating stare because you know they are a predator and you gotta protect either yourself or somebody around you. So this relationship could also actually activate a part of you within you for each other, but I feel like also specifically for you, it's going to activate a part of you that is very powerful and is not conflict shy at all, or that is very courageous, very brave when it comes to disagreeing very loudly with somebody, or like being very like watchful of a person that is not good for your true love and your future spouse, and feeling the strong need to protect your man or your woman from some bad energy or from some hating ass hoe, okay, or some hater, okay, hating ass dude. And it's gonna kind of like activate a part of you that is fearless, that is fierce, that is very powerful in the name of love, okay, where this love is going to activate some kind of power within you that protects you from a lot, or that protects your man or your woman from a lot, is what I'm picking up here. But if you tell me you're conflict shy, this might be a side of you that is going to get activated in this relationship, where you're going to realize, well, there's a different side to me, but it's kind of like sacred rage, or like a feeling of righteousness, or a feeling of like wanting to make things right, because this man or this woman deserves nothing but the best, or they deserve a listening ear, or they deserve to be protected, they deserve to be heard, they deserve to, yeah, that's what I'm picking up here, okay? But you're gonna do this to each other. Your future spouse is gonna feel the same way about you, okay? There might even be an energy where you're gonna feel like the other person has gone through so much that you almost like want to make up for all the bad shit that happened to them, kind of like where you realize like, wow, they really are. Yeah, I feel like you're gonna want to make up for all the bad times, or you're gonna look at your man or your woman and feel like, wow, they had like a hard past, or they just went through a hard chapter, a very dark chapter, and some injustice happened, something really unfair happened to them, and you just want to be there for them, and they just want to be there for you, and they just want to make up for like a bad memory, kind of like I feel like your love story is gonna feel like a bad memory is being erased by such a beautiful memory that it almost like overpowers all the bad stuff, that it almost overpowers like the memory of a bad thing, as if you are gonna be consumed in the best way possible by this love, and it almost has like a positive effect on your thoughts even, or what you remember, or like, yeah, kind of like flashbacks of beautiful things and not of injustice or people hurting you or some kind of betrayal. That's what I'm picking up here very, very strongly. You're gonna feel like, I want to do something to erase all the bad memories that you have. They're gonna feel this way about you, you're gonna feel this way about them, and this is what your love story is gonna feel like. Erasing a bad memory, and almost like where a good memory is imprinted, where a good memory lasts forever until the end of time. But I also pick up something about matching tattoos. I'm not gonna lie, you might be my couple that is gonna get matching tattoos at some point, or somebody's gonna get a tattoo for the other person of like, I love you and that's why I'm crazy and I'm tattooing your name on my chest or whatever, I don't know, okay? That's what I'm picking up here, okay? Like, yeah, that's what this feels like. It's gonna feel like I don't even remember the bad times because I'm so happy with this man and this woman, and like I didn't even know that I could be this happy after such a dark chapter that I went through. Like, That's crazy. That's what I'm picking up here, okay? But I also feel like there's gonna be this intention to erase a bad memory. Like where you're gonna feel like you want to erase a bad memory for them, and they're gonna feel like they want to erase a bad memory for you. But you might talk about like that memory, that thing that is still on your mind, or still in your mind, and you would love to forget it. And I actually feel like you're gonna help each other to truly almost forget about this thing. And you thought it was impossible until you met your true love and your future spouse, and they just, you know, fill your mind with memories that are beautiful. That's what I'm picking up here, okay? Pound number 2, I'm going to go to the extended now. In the extended, before I go, there could also be an energy where your love language, your favorite love language for each other or with each other could also be quality time. Okay, so you're going to really enjoy quality time, or your favorite love language that you might have in common could be quality time. Besides maybe a love language that you have like personally, your common love language could be quality time, is what I'm picking up here, okay? But pound number 2, I'm going to go to the extended now. In the extended, we are going to look at how your future spouse will experience your love story, okay? Like how is it gonna feel for them, like that your love story is like unfolding or taking shape, okay? Yeah, in the extent, we're basically looking at how it's going to feel like for your future spouse to fall in love with you, like them falling in love with you. What is it going to feel like for them, okay? Or like when they look at you and their heart is beating and they know they are deeply in love with you, like what is it going to feel like, okay, for them? So yeah, if you're interested in that, you can join me on Patreon, and the link is down in the description box, okay? Let's talk about that, okay? Let's talk about your future spouse and how they're going to experience everything. So if you are interested in that, the link is down in the description box. If you want a personal reading with me, all the details are in the description box. Also leave me a comment if you have any suggestions, what you would like to see. I already have a couple of ideas. But let me know down in the comments section. Also subscribe if you like this video, because I'm your tarot reader for future spouse readings, okay? And I talked about this in the intro, but my readings are also here to spark daydreams and spark your imagination, because the more you imagine and the more you daydream, the more you manifest your true love and your future spouse to you, okay? Or every time you feel sad, or every time you feel like love is never gonna find its way to you, or the stars have not yet aligned for you to meet the man or the woman of your dreams, just come to your girl, just come to me, okay? Spend a little bit of time with me, okay? And then go on about your day, okay? Focus on other stuff that makes you happy besides love. There's so much more in this world that makes happy besides love, okay? But if you crave like connecting to the energy and like just, you know, like, yeah, connecting to the energy of love, you come to me, okay? And then you get out of your sad energy, and then you go on about your day, and you trust the universe with the timing when it comes to meeting your true love and your future spouse, okay? But anyway, so you can join me on Patreon. The link is down in the description box. If not, thank you for being here. I'm going to see you in my next one, and I wish you a lovely, lovely day. Bye. Hey, pie number 3, welcome to your reading, guys. So, as you can tell by the title, this is going to be a future spouse reading, and we're going to look at how your love story with your true love, and your future spouse is gonna look like, is gonna feel like, kind of like the energy where, you know, as your love is unfolding, as your love story is unfolding, what is it gonna feel like for you and for your future spouse? Kind of like where we're going to look at what it's gonna feel like for the both of you. Okay, maybe the journey to each other or the journey with each other through life, if that makes sense, because we might look at the beginning of your love story, in the middle of your love story, or whatever comes out. This is a very free-flowing topic, so I'm just going with the flow, honestly, because we're not talking about, or we're not looking at something specific, such as your first kiss or your first eye contact, whoever. I'm just really going with the flow and seeing whatever comes out. It might be a specific chapter in your love story that we're going to talk about today, or yeah, whatever comes out, okay? whatever makes your love story special, if that makes sense. So that's what we're going to look at today. And in the extended, first of all, there's gonna be an extended for this pick a card reading. And in the extended, first of all, the link is down in the description box, so you can join me on Patreon if you are interested in the extended of this reading. But in the extended, we're just going to look at how it will feel like for your future spouse, kind of like from your future spouse's perspective. What is it going to feel like to fall in love with you, or to be in love with you, or what is it going to feel like for them to experience the unfolding of your love story, the unfolding of like your romance, or your story as a couple, or your story as two lovers, okay, or two people that fell in love. So we're just gonna look at their perspective. What is it gonna feel like for them, if that makes sense, okay? Also, if you are new here, I do these readings first of all to keep you company on your journey, because sometimes we have to be patient and wait for the stars to align in order for us to meet our true love and our future spouse. And up until then, you're gonna spend some time with your girl, okay? You're gonna spend some time with me, and every time you feel sad or whatever and you wanna kind of like daydream and visualize and imagine and just be in the energy and almost like be excited for the future instead of being sad about the present. Do you know what I mean? This is basically like my goal with these future spouse readings, to just keep you company on your journey, but to also like even inspire you to imagine and daydream, because the more you imagine and the more you daydream, the more you manifest, okay? Because manifestation happens when you daydream and when you visualize and when you are in your imagination, or when you imagine things. That's when you manifest, okay? So I'm here to spark your daydreams. I'm here to spark your imagination and you visualizing your future spouse into existence, okay? But I'm also here on days where you feel a little sad, okay? And instead of feeling sad about the present moment, we get excited about the future, okay? So yeah, we're going to look at what your love story is gonna feel like and look like, okay? Pile number 3. Welcome. Let's see. Pile number 3. The first thing that I'm picking up here, and again on Patreon, we're going to look at their perspective, okay? Also, I do offer personal readings as of right now. I will not be offering them for too much longer. Now I'm going with my intuition, kind of like where it could be that I'm going to be offering them for another 2 weeks, or maybe for another 2 months. I'm not quite sure yet, but I know that I won't be offering them for much longer, if that makes sense. So if you are interested, all the information is also in the description box, but you have to come with patience when you send me an email, because I take my time with personal readings, which also means that I take longer, kind of like where I don't jump from one personal reading to the other. I really take my time and give in-depth readings. So yeah, I'm not that fast when it comes to like working through the requests. So if you want to shoot your shot, send me an email, okay? And we will see if I have slots available, if I still offer them. Yeah, but you can try, okay? Or this might be your last chance, or maybe I will open up personal readings in the future again, but I'm not quite sure yet, honestly. Okay, just to let you know, okay? Okay, pile number 3. What am I picking up here? I want to put some lip balm on. Hold on. This is very interesting, okay? I'm just gonna say out loud what is coming through here. The first thing that I'm picking up here, which is very interesting, the first thing that I'm picking up here is your love story. I actually feel like you're gonna be people's favorite couple. Yeah, I'm hearing you're gonna be people's favorite couple. Now, what I pick up with this energy, you know the concept of like certain couples in Hollywood, like celebrity couples that are hated, where people are like almost like rooting against them, or they feel like they're not a good match, or I don't know, like kind of like where some couples, they are not really celebrated or liked, or people can tell that the energy is off, and so yeah, they're not people's favorite couple. Do you know what I mean? And then there's certain couples where you're like almost rooting for them, or you really like them, or you really like them together. So there's almost like this energy of like, you know, people's favorite couple, you know, or certain couples where people are like, yo, I'm really rooting for them, or I really can see this working out. For some reason, I'm picking up the energy here where you might end up being somebody's favorite couple, to the point where they're almost gonna like not idolize, but they're gonna look at your love story and feel like, or your relationship, and they're going to feel like, this is what I want. For some reason, I picked this up here. I don't know why. There could be an energy where maybe you have a big friend circle, your future spouse has a big friend circle. Or if you tell me I don't have a big friend circle right now, maybe by the time you meet your future spouse, your friend circle will be a lot bigger than it is right now. Or once you are in a relationship with your future spouse, maybe your friend circle will be a lot bigger, because I pick up like a lot of people around you. Look at this card right here. It looks like they are at a gathering or at a party. Okay, there's lots and lots of people here. Okay. So for some reason I pick up this energy here of like where people are gonna enjoy you as a couple. Okay, let me elaborate. So again, there could be an energy where if your future spouse has a big friend circle, you have a big friend circle, or you're somehow going to end up making maybe even a lot of friends as a couple, kind of like where people are going to love you together as a couple. Or let's say, for example, you don't have many friends and your future spouse also doesn't have many friends. You're somehow going to be a magnet for new friendships once you are in a relationship. I don't know why, but they're going to like the both of you, or they're going to like your energy. So you're going to actually make a lot of friends as a couple. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. So if you tell me, Cynthia, I don't have a big friend circle, this might actually change when you are in this relationship. Or there could be an energy where your future spouse's friends, they're going to adore you. So your friend circle is going to multiply really quickly because of your future spouse's friends. Or the other way around. There's like a mingling. There's like a crowd around you, or like a lot of people around you. And I'm hearing they're going to love to invite you. So yeah, almost as if you are going to be like a popular couple that people actually like to invite. You know the concept of like where you don't want to invite a certain couple because you know they're going to bring drama, or they're going to fight. Or you know, like a couple that you maybe invite, but they're very like, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just giving an example, okay? If you do what I'm describing, yeah, I'm not bashing anybody, but maybe also a couple that maybe doesn't really like to mingle, or doesn't really like to be in the crowd, so they always isolate from the crowd. Do you know what I mean? Kind of like a couple where you know they're not gonna socialize, they're not gonna have fun, they're gonna be in a corner by themselves and like almost isolate themselves from a group, where you could all have fun together, but you want to isolate, or you got your own issues, or there's jealousy issues, so they don't even want to invite you. I don't know what that is about, honestly, anyway. Or maybe you're also going to be a couple that has other friendships, and those other friendships are also couples. So a lot of couple dates, a lot of double dates, a lot of group dates is what I'm picking up here, okay? Kind of like where you are somebody's favorite couple to meet up with, or they're going to choose you as a couple to meet up with over other couples. I don't know, okay? But I'm also picking up here, like, you're going to have a lot of... I pick up a lot of random stuff, okay? So please don't mind me. I have to get out everything that is, like, random before I actually get to, you know, your reading, you know, like, what I actually want to focus on. But I'm going to be honest, because I feel like you're going to be a popular couple. I don't know why. Or you're going to be popular in the community. Or, again, you're just going to be people's favorite couple to meet up with, or to invite, or yeah, they're just gonna feel like they root for you. You might have haters that don't wish you well, but you also have quite a few people that root for your relationship. Like, yeah, I don't know, I pick up this energy of like a relationship that people look up to, where they look at your relationship, they look at your love story, and they feel like, wow, that's what I want. Like, the relationship that pile number 3 has, like, showed me what I'm looking for, what I want, you know? So it's almost like as if your love story is gonna feel like a love story that people think about, that people look at, and that people like think about in terms of what they are really looking for. So if people are looking for what is true love, what does true love look like and feel like, they would look to your relationship for guidance, for direction, for inspiration. Yeah, that's what it is. because the chemistry between the two of you, I'm hearing, is off charts. Everybody can tell, okay? And they're gonna feel like, that's what I want too. Like, I like how they talk and walk with each other, and I like it, and that's what I want. Okay, so I feel like people are really gonna get inspired by your relationship, and then almost like know what they're looking for when before they did not know what they were looking for. This could be another thing, okay? So your love story could also be super inspiring, honestly. Eye-opening, inspiring, where again, like the chemistry is so intense that people around you can tell. Does that make sense? You don't have to tell people that you are compatible. It's visible, even to a blind person. Does that make sense? That's what I'm picking up here. Maybe that's what I'm picking up here. Like the chemistry is so strong that it's visible to people that are not involved. Okay, does that make sense? Like, it's like undeniable. That's what it is. The chemistry is undeniable, because people could say like, they don't vibe, their chemistry is off. Like, I can tell. Either they're right about it, or they're hating. They cannot even do that with you. Even if they want to, they just look like a hater if they do. Honestly, okay? You might have haters, especially if you are like, again, like out and about, you meet people, you are in a community, you know. That's what I'm picking up here, okay? Like something about where people are gonna like enjoy inviting you. You might also end up going to a lot of weddings together is what I'm picking up here too. Like a lot of wedding invitations. Again, I don't know. Like, again, if you tell me, Cynthia, I don't have a big friend circle, this might actually change. I don't know what I'm picking up here, but I pick up a big crowd, or like a bigger friend circle than you already have, or than you have right now. And there's one wedding. Oh my God, that makes sense. Do you know what I'm being brought to? Hold on. I'm being brought to Russell and Sierra. They just did an interview with Keke Palmer, right? And they have they have a reputation of like where they are matchmakers, where Sierra and Russell are the reason for 3 relationships, where 3 relationships happened because of Russell and Sierra, because they matched to people, or like, I don't know, they inspired 2 people to go on a date. And so there's 3 relationships because of Russell and Sierra, and then the 3rd relationship, they're actually engaged. Oh, that could also be another thing, okay? Like, where you're gonna end up like being the reason why people fall in love and are in a relationship, because like, I don't know, they now know what they want, and what they want is what you have, but more in an inspiring way, you know? Like, you might actually end up being matchmakers for other people. And they're like, yeah, I'm like with my man because of pile number 3, or like, I don't know, or because of pile number 3 and their man. I don't know. You might actually be the reason why people like also are in relationships, or why they also get engaged. And again, it's not in the copying way, or not in the hater way. It's like true, honest inspiration, or like, I don't know. I don't know what this is about. That's very interesting. Okay. So your love story could almost like spark other people to fall in love as well. I don't know, like almost as if you said that, yeah, oh my God, do you know what I'm being brought to? Oh my God. You are my couple, or your love story. I told you, people are going to watch you, even people that don't know you. Let's say, for example, you go somewhere, okay? Let's say, for example, you go to a restaurant, and like people can see how you look at each other and how you flirt, okay? And they can literally tell the chemistry from a mile away. They don't even know you, but they like to look at you as a couple, because like the energy is so like intense, you know? And then they look at their partner and they want to kiss their partner, or they want to be more romantic with their partner, because they can see like the chemistry that you have with your man or your woman. So you almost like spark even more romance, even more sexual energy, even more like love around you. Oh my God, what the hell? That's what I'm picking up here. Like, your love story is gonna be so intense and so like undeniable that strangers notice, that people around you notice, and they either also get into the mood, or they're admitting to themselves that they want to be in a relationship, okay? And because they admit it to themselves, that's when they're actually starting to manifest the relationship that they want, because they look at you and they're honest about like, I want what pile number 3 has. I don't know. So you might actually become like an it couple, or like a couple that people look up to, or like, yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm picking up here, okay? That's the first thing that I'm picking up here. But I also pick up like your love story is also going to, for some reason, I'm also hearing, I'm going to show you the cards in a second, but with this card right here, it almost looks like something is happening behind her back and she doesn't know, kind of like where somebody is behind her holding a rose in their hands and she does not know. Do you see that? Kind of like somebody's behind her, or like her man is behind her with a rose, but she does not know about it. So it's kind of like a surprise where something is happening behind her back, but it's a surprise. So I'm also hearing your love story could also feel like pile number 3 as if it's a surprise, like almost as if it's gonna be a surprise to you who your future spouse is. When you find out, oh my god, that's my future spouse, it might actually be a surprise in terms of they were a secret admirer. Do you know what I mean? Or in terms of like almost like your taste changing, or your taste changing, or your type changing. Okay, it's what I'm picking up here too. Kind of like where falling in love with your man or your woman is gonna feel like a surprise. It caught me off guard. I didn't see this coming. It was a surprise because I'm like, you are my type, but you are a new type. Like I didn't have that type before, but now that I met you, you are my new type. Or this energy of like, again, a secret admirer, where there's like a mysterious energy around you, and all of a sudden like your secret admirer that you have a crush on also turns out to be your future spouse. So it's like a surprise, I'm your future spouse, surprise, I'm your secret admirer. Or I don't know, like I don't know how to explain it, like almost as if like falling in love is gonna feel like a surprise, as if the universe is surprising you, or like life is very surprising, you know. There could even be an energy where you and your future spouse, you're gonna feel like a surprise to each other, because how can I explain that energy? Because your future spouse is very special or very unique. What I mean by that is like, yeah, almost as if you didn't know what would come with falling in love with your future spouse, or you didn't know what would come with meeting your future spouse. So I almost want to say your love story is gonna feel like an unexpected change, like where you watch a lot of future spouse readings, right? But if you meet your future spouse, or like when you meet them, there's still gonna be something that really surprises you. Like, and I don't know how to explain it. For example, I'm just giving an example. For example, they have a really cool lifestyle, or they live in a different country. So you didn't foresee you relocating, but then when you meet him, relocation is on the table, and you never saw that on your journey, or you never saw that in your destiny. So I feel like if your love story is gonna feel like a plot twist, kind of like a plot twist where you didn't see that you would relocate, or you didn't see that you would be with a very successful individual, or you didn't see that you would end up with a very popular person that is popular in a community, or you didn't know you would end up with a person that is like, do you know what I mean? There's something very surprising about this like connection. It's like a, you know, oh, I'm just going where the wind blows me, and then there all of a sudden my future spouse is here. Almost as if you almost meet by accident, or you meet on a random Tuesday, and it's like a random Tuesday, but something very significant happens on that random Tuesday. Do you know what I mean? It's like a surprise. It's like a, oh, I didn't see this coming. Like, I feel like your love story is gonna feel like the excitement that you have been looking for. Like as if everything was predictable, as if like you, as if your life was all laid out, but you always felt like there's something dull, something boring about your life, like something about like, I feel like I'm looking for a little something and I don't know what it is, but it's almost like a plot twist, like a, oh, I'm relocating, I didn't see, like I didn't know this was in the stars for me, or oh, I fell in love with a person who runs a company, so now you are involved in their company or in their whatever, or oh, I fall in love with a fashion designer and all of a sudden I'm wearing unique pieces. Like, do you know what I mean? There's like something very specific about your future spouse that is going to feel like a plot twist, like a, I did not know that destiny would take me here, that I would end up here. But it's exactly what I have been looking for. It's exactly like this change. Oh yeah, this change that I have been looking for. Your love story is gonna feel like the change that you have been dying or craving to experience. So they're gonna flip the script. Falling in love with your future spouse is gonna feel like, or you're falling in love with each other is gonna feel like your life is upside down. The plot twist, the, yeah, kind of like where almost as if life feels dull and like there's nothing exciting, and then you meet your future spouse and like your life is upside down. All of a sudden you are in a long distance relationship and you travel back and forth. All of a sudden, you know, they are a musician and you go to their underground concerts, and you never saw yourself like going to concerts all the time, or you never saw yourself like having a man or a woman that is a fashion designer and they create fashion like pieces that you wear. Does that make sense? Like where there's like something very specific about, or maybe for example they are a hairdresser, so now all of a sudden you have a hairdresser and your hair looks perfect every 3 months because they always do your hair. There's like this, I did not know this was in the cards for me. I did not know this was my destiny. Like as if your life is going to be upside down. An unexpected change that you almost expected because you knew like something needs to change in your life, like where you knew like I feel like I'm not really in my destiny. I feel like there's still like a blind spot that I have about where I'm gonna go or who I'm meant to be or where I'm supposed to be. And then you meet your true love and your future spouse. So if you feel like this is especially for my people, okay, this is also how you know that this is really your pile. If you feel like I have a blind spot about where I'm going to end up, I feel like I'm still missing a puzzle piece or like an epiphany or like a conclusion about who I am, where I'm going to end up, what I'm meant to do, this might actually have something to do with your future spouse. They're like the last puzzle piece to the mystery of life, like where you always knew there's something missing, like you don't know something about your destiny, you don't know something about your journey or your path, and you have been trying to figure it out, but you had to meet your man or your woman to know what that last puzzle piece is. This is how your love story is going to feel for the both of you. The last puzzle piece, the missing piece. To come to a conclusion, to come out of an identity crisis, to see your path clearly, to see your destiny clearly. Or kind of like your intuition telling you that there's going to be a plot twist that is about to happen, and that plot twist is your man or your woman. Again, I don't know, they're somehow going to flip your life upside down. And you're going to love it. You're going to be like, oh man, I've been feeling dead inside. I'm not gonna lie, I've been feeling dull, like life has been feeling dull. I've been feeling like, you know, like I cannot really figure out my journey or my path, or like I'm really trying to figure out like what the hell I'm doing, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And then you meet your man or your woman and the puzzle piece is complete. So I feel like your spirit guides want you to know like, don't worry about not knowing everything or not feeling like you can figure things out when it comes to your journey. It might actually be because you have to meet your true love and your future spouse in order for everything to make sense. Like kind of like the last puzzle piece for everything to truly make sense, okay? To just chill and go with the flow and just surrender to the unknown or to the path of like feeling like things are unknown, or you know that there's like, I don't know, it's like an intuition that you don't know something, you haven't figured something out, you are still not sure if you want to live here, if this is your path, if this is your career path, if this is the kind of friends that you want to have, or the kind of friend circle that you want to have, if this is like what you're really looking for. That's what I'm picking up here. But I'm also picking up here that your love language as a couple with each other could also be surprising each other. Kind of like an unexpected visit, an unexpected kiss, an unexpected, hey, I cooked for you. Hey, I baked for you. Hey, babe, I'm gonna make your sexy fantasy come true tonight. You kind of like where your love story is gonna feel like you're always surprising each other. You're always like surprising each other and making each other feel excited about what's next, because you're both like so excited about being together that you almost like cannot contain your excitement, and it comes out in, oh, I want to surprise my man, I want to surprise my woman all the time, like almost like this joy of like always exciting each other, always surprising each other with little things, kind of like an unexpected kiss, or unexpectedly getting sexy with each other somewhere, or unexpectedly traveling somewhere, unexpectedly cooking for your man and they didn't know about it, or like where you sent an order to them and they didn't know about it. Do you know what I mean? There's like this unexpected energy that is always in the air that makes life exciting, but you always surprise each other. There's like this, ah man, like I like to surprise you because I love your smile. You're gonna be so into each other's smile, kind of like where they get turned on when they see your smile, and you get turned on when you see their smile. Okay, like, yeah, that's what I'm picking up here. Okay, but again, I also pick up like where you're gonna be like a bubbly, goofy couple that people like to be around. Like this energy that you're gonna have for each other, people are gonna even be craving it. You might actually have to sometimes decline invitations to actually spend time as a couple, because people always want to be out and about with you. They're always like, hey, do you want to come out with your girl, with your man? Like where people are, or there could be a specific person that is gonna be obsessed with your relationship, but in the best way possible, kind of like not a fan, but they're gonna really enjoy being around you as a couple, even if they're single. Do you know what I mean? Like there's this energy of like you might actually end up being someone's favorite couple, or like they're gonna, like, I don't know, where you almost like have to tell this person like, hey, we want to spend time together, like just me and my man, just me and my woman, because people are gonna love inviting you, people are gonna love being around you, because I feel like you have like such a good energy as a couple, or you're so bubbly, goofy and funny together as a couple that people just like to be around you. Okay, and sometimes you want to be just you and them is what I'm picking up here, but you also don't mind like double dates and group dates and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what I'm picking up here. Okay, that's the reason why I pick up like the crowd in the back. Okay, you could also be my couple, or your love story could also feel like I feel like your love story is gonna feel like a party. I don't know, or as if like if you're always celebrating life, or as if you're always like in a celebratory mood, but it is because you feel like you chose the right man or the right woman that makes you feel celebratory. It's kind of like an achievement, like I met my person and like I celebrate it every day. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the vibe that is coming through here. Okay, but yeah, you could also end up going to a lot of parties, being invited to a lot of parties, a lot of gatherings, a lot of weddings and engagement parties and stuff like that is what I'm picking up here too. Kind of like your love story is gonna feel like you are the special guest very often or something like that when you go to gatherings or something like that. You might also actually be the first couple to get engaged or to get married in a friend circle or in a community, is what I'm picking up here as well. So it's kind of like you're the first one to jump the gun. You're the first one to jump the broom, I think you say, or to get engaged or get married. And people are like maybe even losing their fear of getting married or getting engaged because of you. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm picking up here too. Okay, I also see you being at parties, being at gatherings, and you do sometimes, but not all the time, find yourself a little chill corner, okay, where you start to make out and you start to, you know, get a little touchy. Okay, look at that energy here. Okay, where you find like a little corner too. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up here, where people want to be around you and then you find a little corner. But again, it's not that you're isolating yourself. You just want like 30 minutes with each other and then you come back to the gathering or the party or whatever. Okay, Yeah, I also feel like maybe you also really like to party, or you also really like to go to gatherings, or you're gonna be in your party phase or in your party energy when you meet your true love and your future spouse, because they're gonna be the perfect person to party with, the perfect person to celebrate with, where I don't know, you're gonna be on the same level, kind of like where you want to leave the party at the same time, just intuitively because you are in sync, or you're both gonna be in the mood to celebrate or to party or to go out and to have fun on the same day, kind of like where you're always in the same mood, if that makes sense, especially when it comes to partying, gatherings, whether you want to stay in or go out. Do you know what I mean? There's like this in sync energy when it comes to what do you want to do today? And then like, yeah, I want to do this too. So there's never like a bumping heads when it comes to plans. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up here. Okay, your love story is gonna feel like your plans are in harmony 9 times out of 10. Does that make sense? Not like a bumping heads with plans, or like where your plan and their plan like merges and then it's like a perfect plan. Okay, that's what I'm picking up here. Kind of like where you know the day activity, the perfect day activity, and they know the perfect evening activity. And then you put it together and then it's a perfect day. That's what I'm picking up here. That's why I'm also saying, like, you know, if you have such a deep match out in the outside, like out in the universe, it might feel like I'm looking for something that I don't know what it is, and it low-key feels like an identity crisis because I still haven't figured out my path. But it might truly be because your future spouse is truly your other half, truly like the last puzzle piece. So yeah, don't worry about like not knowing where you are or where you're going. It's all gonna make sense when you meet your man, or yeah, when you meet your man or your woman. So until then, just chill, just go with the flow, okay? Yeah, that's what I'm picking up here. But again, I also pick up like your chemistry is gonna be so strong that strangers notice it, that people that don't believe in love no more notice it, that people cannot even hate or gossip about you not having chemistry because it's so obvious and it's so like real and it's so like, I don't know. Okay, that's what I'm picking up here. I also pick up you're going to have a huge wedding. I don't know why. If you tell me, Cynthia, I don't want a big wedding, I don't know what to tell you. You might change your mind, or it might very naturally happen, or you would have a big wedding. Or a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, you got to invite us to your wedding, where they already see the wedding bells, or they can already hear the wedding bells when they look at you. Like they almost like don't question whether or not you're going to get married. It's kind of clear, but it is because of like the chemistry and the energy between the two of you. As if your wedding is predictable, as if you making it to the altar is predictable. And they're gonna be like, yeah, invite us to your wedding, and you're like, no, we want like or what you're gonna think, no, I want a small wedding, but you might actually have a lot of people requesting to be invited. I don't know, like I pick up a lot of random things. But again, there's also this energy of like, I met my future spouse on a random Tuesday and my life turned upside down. That's what I'm hearing. This would be like, you know, the first sentences in your love movie. Kind of like the introduction, like, when I met this man, everything changed, or my life all of a sudden was upside down. This is how, you know, your love story would begin. Or if people would watch your love story in a movie, this would be like the first sentences in a movie to make it dramatic and like interesting. But yeah, when it comes to your love story is gonna feel like a surprise, like a mystery solved, especially when it comes to your journey or a blind spot or your destiny or like a puzzle piece that you have been trying to figure out on your own, and maybe you did not know. Oh yeah, there could also be an energy where you're gonna end up realizing that your love life is also connected to something else. Yeah, for example, your social life, where you always felt like, I'm looking for friends, or I'm looking for my soul tribe, but I can't seem to find them. But your soul tribe might actually be your future spouse's friends. Does that make sense? Or I'm trying to figure out where I want to live, but the mystery is solved when you meet your future spouse and you end up in a long distance relationship and you fall in love with the country or the city that they live at. Or you are looking for your career path and nothing inspires you, and then you meet your future spouse and they're the most inspiring person you've ever met, and all of a sudden like the path is clear. So your love story is gonna feel like a mystery solved, like a you know, I've been looking for answers, and like all these answers are in the sexy man or sexy woman, as if like, yeah, kind of like I literally see like, you know, the universe, like, and they have like a present in their hand, and like it's your future spouse or whatever. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, maybe there could even be an energy where you're gonna meet, kind of like where there might even be an energy of like meeting your future spouse on your birthday or on their birthday, or like, I don't know. Okay. Or your love story is gonna feel like you never had a bad birthday ever again after you met them, or you never had, yeah, like a sad birthday ever again if you did experience sad birthdays before, or like, yeah. Okay, you're gonna feel like you are with the right person to celebrate your success with, to celebrate your birthdays with, to celebrate every event ever with. You know, when you are like in a crowd or in a circle, and you feel like you are with the wrong people, or you would rather want to celebrate New Year's Eve with this person, or you would rather, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, there could also be something going on with like parties and gatherings and yeah, there could be something going on with like parties and gatherings and events and stuff like that, where you have to go to them by yourself, and you do take other people with you to those events, and you do enjoy yourself, don't get me wrong, but they're like your favorite plus one. You are each other's favorite plus one, and you are each other's forever plus one. That's what I'm picking up here, because I literally saw a YouTube short recently where someone wrote my forever plus one, which is really cute. I don't know. That's what I'm hearing, my forever plus one. Okay. Yeah. So if you felt like you took people to events and places and then realized like you would have rather wanted to celebrate it, kind of like where you go somewhere and you realize like it would have been better if I was by myself, because like we're not vibing, or I don't know how to explain it. Okay, like, you know, when you are like in friend circles or in friendships and you realize like maybe you want to stay at the party and they want to go, or you want to go and they want to stay at the party. So there's always like a clash of like events, or where you want to go and they want to stay, and I don't know, something like that is what I'm picking up here. Okay, or where you want to dance but the other person doesn't, so now, yeah, something like that, like the perfect plus one, your favorite plus one, your forever plus one. That's what I'm hearing. This is what your love story is gonna feel like. Okay, like the perfect person to travel with, the perfect person to celebrate with, where you almost like have been looking for like somebody that you can do everything with, and not just like certain things, you know, where you can only share certain things with this, like with somebody. Okay, yeah, so maybe your love story is gonna feel like you have a lover in your future spouse, but also a friend. Do you know what I mean? Kind of like where you can, yeah, like a lover and a friend. If I was your best friend, I want you around me all the time. Can I be your best friend? Kind of like where you are lovers, but you're also dance partners, but you're also travel buddies, but as if you are like a lot of different things. Like, yeah, your love story is gonna feel like you found the perfect person for a lot of things. Yeah, to be with or to do with. Okay, there could even be an energy where you're gonna feel like your relationship is evolving, kind of like from lovers to friends, and then from friends to travel buddies, and then from travel buddies to business partners. Do you know what I mean? Where there's gonna be like an evolution of your relationship, where you're gonna be different things at different points in time and still be perfect for each other, no matter like the field, no matter, yeah. Someone recently asked me, like in a personal reading, if I could describe them as a trope, like the artist and the muse, like what they would be to each other. This is the energy that is coming through here as well, but again, people could also see you as like that, you know? Yeah. That's what I'm picking up here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm hearing your love story is gonna feel sweet. Okay, Your love story is going to feel like you are grinning from ear to ear and it's so cheesy, but you cannot help it because you're in love. Or like where you're always going to be excited to make each other smile. It's like your mission to make them smile. Okay, what's your mission? To surprise them, or it's your mission to catch them off guard with something beautiful, or with a kiss, or with an unexpected visit, or you know, like you just going. I have to watch my tongue here on YouTube, but you're doing, yeah, you giving them some kind of pleasure unexpectedly or whatever. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, that's what I'm picking up here. That's what your love story is gonna feel like. Let me get one more card. Yeah, you're gonna feel like you found your soul family. If this person is gonna feel like you're, yeah, there's something about like you're my lover and my best friend. That's what you are. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up here. You are my lover and my best friend. Because maybe there was a relationship before where they were your lover but not your friend. Or you were in a relationship where you were friends and you tried to make it a relationship, but you ended up realizing it is just platonic, and like the chemistry, like the love is missing, or the sexual attraction is missing, even though there is a platonic attraction. Yeah, okay, here we go. So your relationship, your love story is gonna feel like you found everything in one, because you could have experienced platonic attraction or sexual attraction, but separately. That's what I'm talking about. And this relationship is gonna feel like it's all platonic attraction and sexual attraction and this attraction and that attraction, you know, it's not separate, you know, where, yeah. But yeah, it's gonna feel like you are in a relationship with your best friend, but also your lover, and the sexiest man or the sexiest woman you've ever met or laid eyes on. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm picking up here. Okay, and I do see you inspiring a man. Okay, there's a man that is gonna be a fan of your relationship. Yeah, there's a man that is gonna be like, oh my god, I want what pile number 3 has. Like, basically your love story is gonna make people believe again. Okay, let's see. I think I want to get one more card here. Yeah, it's kind of like where I'm hearing making each other grin from ear to ear. And people don't have to ask, are you happy in your relationship? It's visible. Again, there's a lot of like, it's visible. It's undeniable. You don't even have to ask. Not that you're not going to have bad days and argue. That's normal. Okay. But I don't know. Yeah, you could also end up being like a really goofy couple. Like, I don't know to explain it, as if you don't even take your arguments too seriously or your misunderstandings too seriously. Like, there's no pride. There's like only goofiness, or like, you know what? I know that I acted foolish, you know? But almost like making a joke out of it. Okay. Yeah. So your love story is gonna feel like it takes the seriousness out of life. Because you're kind of like both goofy, or you're both like the right amount of goofy to take the seriousness out of life. That's what I'm picking up here. Because life can get very serious, right? Where you almost forget to smile or enjoy yourself, or where everything feels so like serious, you know? And then your goofy man comes along and he says something stupid, and then you like laugh again. And you wonder, what was I mad about? What bothered me? Like, I even forgot what bothered me, or why I was mad in the first place, or what frustrated me, or whatever, you know? Yeah. Because look at that. There are 2 cards where they're cheesing, okay? Let's see. Can you see this here? Yeah. That's what I'm picking up here, okay? But yeah, I also see that there's gonna be a man that is going to be obsessed with your relationship, but again, in the best way possible, not in a, what is it called, like in a hater way. They're going to be like, that's what I want, or like they're going to like to watch you as a couple and like get inspired, or then they start to believe again, or they start to like fantasize about their own love life. And I don't know, okay, something like that is what I'm picking up here. I don't know why. Let's see, one more card. What is pile number 3's love story gonna feel like? But yeah, there's like a surprising factor, okay, when it comes to I did not see that coming, and I'm so excited like for this plot twist or this change in my life to happen because I met the love of my life, or I met my man, or I met my woman. Okay. One more card here. Okay. Your love story is going to feel like... I actually think I cannot talk about this on YouTube, but I have to take it to Patreon. But let me see if I can, you know, vaguely describe it. For some reason, I also pick up that you're going to kiss each other's forehead, like a forehead kiss. I don't know why I'm picking up a forehead kiss here. I don't know. Something about it's gonna be a habit that you kiss each other's forehead. I don't know why though. Maybe you both have a big forehead. I don't know. Okay. What is your love story going to feel like? I'm also picking up a couch and a sofa here. So your love story is going to feel like chill, like as if you even have the time of your life just sitting on a couch or sitting on a sofa. But yeah, you're definitely gonna experience the word chosen family deeply in your core, in your spirit, where you're going to feel like, I would not want to spend any other family event with anybody else but you. There's like also the strong energy here of like family events or holidays, you know, and you're always feeling like you are with the wrong people, or there's like a clash of plans. Okay, so yeah, your future spouse is gonna feel like, or your love story is gonna feel like you found the perfect person to plan the future with, you know, because your plans are in sync, they are in harmony, they are effortlessly working together, they are enhancing, kind of like where they enhance your plans and you enhance their plans. They enhance your side and you enhance their side. Yeah, I pick up this energy here where your love story is gonna feel like, I don't know why I'm hearing that, but I'm hearing sweet kisses. Okay. You're going to feel like your future spouse is what makes life exciting, just with their energy, okay? But I also pick up this energy here of like, them being very goofy, I don't know. And they make you laugh all the time. Like they're the funniest person that you will know, is what I'm picking up here. And it's like two goofy people that are on a journey to kind of like handle life and all the seriousness that comes with life in a goofy way, to keep your sanity, to not go crazy, or to not, yeah, lose your smile, to not lose your joy, to not lose your sense of humor. That's what it is. That's what I have been looking for, that word. Okay. But yeah, you're going to feel like you want to be around each other all the time. And if there is a... But it's funny because there's also this energy of like, you know, when people get annoyed by a person that always brings their boyfriend or their girlfriend, I actually pick this up the opposite, where maybe if your future spouse comes to a place and you're not there, they're going to be like, well, why did you not come with her? So it's kind of like where you're not going to be an annoying couple where people are like, oh man, why did you not come with your, like, kind of like where somebody gets annoyed because their boyfriend or their girlfriend always has to be there, but it's more so controlling. Do you know what I mean? It's not like out of fun or out of joy, but it's like controlling or codependency. With you, I actually pick up the opposite, where you come somewhere and people are like, why did you not bring your man? Why did you not bring your woman? Because like your relationship is just healthy and fun to be around, you know, when you go somewhere. But they could also, oh my God, here we go. Another thing before I leave you guys. Your love story is also gonna feel like the perfect amount of alone time and the perfect amount of time that you spend together, where you're gonna feel like you're not losing your independence, you're not losing your joy for things, or you're not losing your friend circle, or you're not losing out of out on money because your man wants to be around you all the time. Do you know what I mean? There's this, yeah, that's what I'm picking up here. It's like you are attached like Siamese twins, but you're also free like a bird. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up here. And then people are going to be like, that's what I want. Like, you know, like, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up here. Attached like Siamese twins, but still free like a bird. To like do you and be you and do your own thing. And then you miss each other because you have been doing your own thing for a day or two, for a couple of hours, and then you come back together and the energy is sexy because you have been missing each other. Do you know what I mean? There's like this, yeah, and this creates balance because then you keep craving each other, right? And then you also keep feeling like you got your own thing going. You have your own success, your own friends, your own thing going on. And it makes you feel independent. It makes you feel like good, you know? It makes you feel like independent, you know? And then you crave each other. That's what I'm picking up here. There's like this healthy, this healthy craving of each other because you give each other space. But then also you might have weeks or months where you are Siamese twins and you are inseparable. That's what I'm picking up here very, very strongly. I feel like your love story is going to be busy, as in there's going to be a lot of events or a lot of like twists and turns. You're going to feel like you're living life to the fullest because of this relationship. Okay, it's kind of like it's going to feel like this relationship is taking you on an adventure. That's what this feels like. Okay, like a sexy, this love story is going to feel like a sexy adventure. It's gonna feel like the good kind of busy that you want to be, okay? Or like and again, also the perfect person to go on adventures with. You know when you go traveling with somebody and you get annoyed by them after 1 or 2 days, or you realize like they want to go left and you want to go right, and so there's like a disagreement when it comes to traveling. There could even be an energy where you're literally gonna be the perfect travel buddies, kind of like where you're just perfect when it comes to traveling together because like you have the same mind, the same ideas, or like something like that. Okay, so there's something about like harmony when it comes to plans, going on adventures, going on side quests together. That's what I'm picking up here. Okay, like, yeah. So yeah, pile number 3, there's a strong energy when it comes to what your love story is gonna feel like. It almost feels like, first of all, I want to say your relationship is going to feel healthy, to be honest with you, which could also be the reason why people actually like to be around you, because your energy feels healthy and good and fun, you know, and balanced. But I also pick up a strong energy here talking about like how you're going to give each other space, kind of like where you still have your own thing going and you still can do your own thing, and then come back into the relationship and like crave each other, kind of like, where there's a sexy tension of like, I missed you, you know, almost like where you give each other space to miss each other. So there's almost this energy of like, just balance, you know, kind of like where I focus on myself and that makes me feel good, and then I focus on the relationship and then I feel good, you know, where you're going to feel like you're not abandoning yourself or something that you work on or something that you like for the sake of the relationship. So I want to say this love story is going to feel like you're not sacrificing other things that make you happy, so you're double happy. Do you know what I mean? Instead of like sacrificing a lot of things such as success, money, other friends, traveling, for the sake of keeping a relationship together. So you're kind of happy, but there's still parts missing when it comes to your happiness because you miss out on traveling, or you miss out on friendships, or you miss out on parties for the sake of compromising in a relationship, but in an unhealthy way. But I also pick up a strong energy here, pile number 3, that your relationship is also going to feel like it allows you to reach your highest or your full potential, or your highest potential. Does that make sense? May that be your highest potential or your full potential when it comes to your creativity, because they give you space. Do you know what I mean? They give you space to focus on your own transformation, and then you come together in this relationship and then you transform together. So I do believe your relationship is going to feel like the perfect person to transform with, the perfect person to reach your full potential with. May that be your full potential in health, may that be your full potential in money, may that be your full potential in pursuit of happiness, may that be your full potential in living life to the fullest or traveling, whatever you feel like you want to reach your full potential at, okay? Because I just got an extra card and we have butterflies here, like the Six of Cups, like butterfly energy. And I picked this up as like a complete transformation, kind of like where you're going to be watching each other transform and be each other's biggest fan as you transform, kind of like where you're going to be each other's like biggest fan, kind of like where you meet each other and you are a caterpillar and then you are like excited about watching the other person become a butterfly, and it turns you on and it gets you going. Okay, kind of like where it's gonna feel like you're watching a caterpillar turn into a butterfly. This is what your love story is gonna feel like. But I feel like this has something to do with like maybe you reach your full potential when it comes to your health or your sexiness or your success or your money, or do you know what I mean, or traveling the world, you know, reaching your full potential when it comes to crossing off a lot of things to on your bucket list. That's what your love story is gonna feel like, reaching your full potential, where you have the perfect person to be with that allows you to reach your full potential, and they are watching you transform from a caterpillar to a butterfly, and they cheer you on and they love you and they adore you, and you watch them turn from a caterpillar into a butterfly, and you're going to be turned on by each other's transformation. It's going to like turn you on to watch each other transform and reach your full potential, or where they are in their element doing their thing and you are in your element doing your thing, and it's going to turn you on, but it also allows the both of you to reach your full potential, like as if this relationship is not stunting your growth, it's enhancing your growth, it is supporting your growth. Okay, it's kind of like witnessing my woman or my man become the best version of themselves, and I'm turned on by it, and they're going to be turned on by watching you become the best version of yourself. That's what this feels like. Okay, for some of you guys, I also pick up a strong energy. I'm not going to dive too deeply into it, but for some of you guys, I'm actually going to dive a little bit into this in the extended. But I also pick up an energy here, pile number 3, that your relationship could actually feel like good karma, or like a blessing after a stormy chapter or a stormy season in your life. So if you know, or almost this energy of like, I wonder why I'm going through all of this. Like, I wonder why. But the why is going to be your future spouse. Again, there's like a very mysterious energy when it comes to, I feel like I have a blind spot about my destiny. I feel like I have a blind spot about what I'm meant to do in my career. I feel like I have a blind spot when it comes to where is my soul tribe? Where are the friends that I'm looking for? I feel like I have a blind spot when it comes to where do I truly feel at home? Like literally location wise, you know? And the why is literally going to be your future spouse. So if you feel like you're still wondering what the hell's going on in your life and you don't understand how your life is unfolding, something in your life is connected to your love life. May that be your career, your friend circle, where you're meant to live. So until you meet your true love and your future spouse, just go with the flow and just allow the question mark to be there, because they're going to be the answer to that question mark. Okay, yeah, I'm hearing your future spouse or your love story is going to feel like, oh, that's why. Literally, where you ask yourself like, why, and then you meet your man or your woman, and then you're like, oh, that's why. Okay, or kind of like the energy where you almost feel like they're so, or as if your relationship is going to feel like a blessing after like a storm. Okay, where you almost feel like, you know, is there ever going to be something beautiful happening in my life? You know, like I've been going through a lot of trials and tribulations, and then you're almost gonna feel like your spirit guides and the universe really blessed you with this relationship, kind of like where you went through a really rocky time in your life, turbulence, trials and tribulations, a very stormy season, and then your man or your woman appears in your life, and it's truly gonna feel like this is the blessing after a storm, or this is kind of like justice, where my life was really out of balance and like I went through a lot of things that were really hard, and then this relationship is so sweet, you know, and it almost balances out like the hard times, and now it's time to have fun together or be goofy together or to party and celebrate together. That's what I'm picking up here as well. Okay, so yeah, your love story is gonna feel like the plot twist that you always knew in your soul and in your spirit would happen, but you could not put your finger on it. Almost as if you felt like, I don't feel like my life is gonna look like this 2 years from now. I feel like there's a huge change that is gonna happen, or like, do you know what I mean? There's this energy of like an unexpected change, but your intuition always told you that you would end up there. So there might even be an energy of like a deja vu, kind of like, yeah, where your love story is going to feel like a deja vu, or like a expected, unexpected change, where you always had a deep feeling that your life would not look like this for the rest of your life, or that there's like a big change, or that your life at some point would turn upside down, or that your life at some point would take you somewhere where you didn't expect it, or kind of like where life is going to take you by surprise, or you're going to end up surprisingly somewhere, where you always had this in your soul and in your spirit that there's going to be some unexpected change, some plot twist, some my life turned upside down kind of vibe, or like a big change that you didn't see coming, or like a plot twist, a blind spot that you have been trying to figure out for years and you couldn't put your finger on it. The answer is your future spouse. So your love story is going to feel like the answer. Your love story is going to feel like the conclusion. Your love story is going to feel like the full circle moment. That's what I'm picking up here, okay? Almost like destiny, kind of like, yeah, as if life is mysterious, or life works in mysterious ways, or you plan something and then the universe has other plans for you, or kind of like the energy where sometimes things manifest that are even more beautiful than your imagination. Do you know what I mean? Or sometimes you think you know what you want, but then like something surprising happens and it's even more beautiful. There's even an energy where manifesting your true love in your future spouse is going to be shocking to you, or take you by surprise, because there's something else manifesting as well. Does that make sense? Like there's something mysterious attached to your love story. Like, yeah, that's what I'm picking up here, okay? So your love story is going to feel like it's beyond your imagination, or it's beyond what you saw in your future. It might even be beyond your intuition, kind of like where, yes, you have an intuition, yes, you know certain things that come your way, but you also don't know everything. Or yeah, that's what I'm picking up here. It's kind of like almost as if it's even more beautiful than you thought, or you manifest more than just your future spouse. You also manifest a career or a friend. Let's say, for example, you're going to end up being best friends with their sister. So you just met your true love and your future spouse, and you also met a true friendship soulmate, but you didn't see that coming because you didn't think about them having a sister that is going to be your best friend. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. So your love story is going to feel like it's more than what you asked for. That's what I'm picking up here. And it might even feel like some kind of justice where, yeah, kind of like where it might even feel like a little bit of justice, where you almost feel like you always had the shorter straw in life. Do you say it like that, where you almost feel like you always were the one to not get as much or not achieve as much, or yeah, kind of like where you always pick the shorter straw, I think you say, in life, and then this relationship comes into your life and it's like more than you imagined, more than you asked for, even more beautiful than you were asking for. You were just asking for a faithful man or a faithful woman, but they're beyond that. They're way more than you asked for. And it's really gonna feel like I've been blessed, you know, like maybe I've gone through a lot of like sad things, but this relationship is the biggest blessing ever, and it balances out a lot of like injustice, or a lot of like things that I was questioning, like why I go through so much shit. Do you know what I mean? Your future spouse manifesting in your life is gonna be so much sweeter than you expect. That's what I'm picking up here, okay? And again, it's gonna like balance out all the bullshit that you went through. That's what this feels like. Oh, I think now I found the right expression. As if you feel like you always get the shorter as if you feel like you always get the shorter end of the stick, if that makes sense. Okay, but this feeling is gonna stop once you are in this relationship, because you're gonna feel like this is so sweet, this is sweeter than I expected, this is bigger than I expected, this is like a double blessing. So I was blessed with a man or a woman, but I was also blessed with a new friend, or I was blessed with money, or I was blessed with clarity, or I was blessed, kind of like a double blessing. Yeah, your future spouse is the blessing or the happiness that comes into your life, but there's also something else. It's gonna feel like double happiness. I'm hearing double trouble. Okay, but in the best way possible. Okay, kind of like well, you're gonna be double happy. So you're gonna be happy in your own life, but also in this relationship. That's what this relationship does to you. Not that you're just happy in the relationship and then miserable by yourself. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm picking up here. Okay, like, yeah, so it's gonna feel like you no longer are getting the shorter end of the stick. It's gonna feel like there's some kind of balance, because this relationship is more than you asked for. It's even more beautiful than you always imagined. That's what this feels like. Okay, I'm also hearing pile number 3. Your love story for the both of you could also feel like, I might have not been that lucky with family. I might have not been that lucky with money. I might have not been that lucky with health. Okay, I might have not been that lucky with friends. But one thing I know for sure, I am blessed, or I have been lucky with love. Kind of like where, you know that saying where you are lucky in love and unlucky in the game, or I don't know, something like that. Okay, so it's really gonna feel like you were blessed with a beautiful love life after maybe you went through very unlucky things, you know, in other areas of your life. That's what this feels like. But once you are in this relationship, all the other areas of your life are also balancing themselves out. That's how good you are for each other, that you don't just like make each other happy in the relationship, but you also help each other with every other area. May that be health, may that be friends, may that be reaching your full potential, may that be your career path. Okay, that's what this feels like, but it's probably gonna feel like I've been lucky with love, or like I've been blessed with love, you know, after being very unlucky with other things. That's what this feels like. Okay, pile number 3, that's all I have for you. I'm gonna go to the extended now, so if you are interested in that, we are going to look at how your future spouse will experience your love story, or kind of like how they will experience the unfolding of your love story. Okay, yeah, we're going to look at how it's going to feel like for your future spouse to fall in love with you when they look at you and they're like, damn, I'm so in love, or this is my true love. What is it going to feel like to them to be in this connection, to watch their heart open up to you and fall in love with you, you know? That's what we're going to look at on Patreon if you are interested. That's what we're going to look at in the extended. So if you want to join me, the link is down in the description box. Yeah, if you want to join me, the link is down in the description box. And if not, I'm going to see my next one. Subscribe and like. Look out for the next future spouse reading that is about to come. Let me know down in the comments what you actually want to see. If you have like any recommendations, I have a few ideas in mind. So yeah, thank you for watching, and if you're not joining me in the extended, I'm going to see my next one, and I wish you a lovely day. Bye.